Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you're watching around the world. I am Brendan Farrell. This is the Red Horde, and in seat one is, of course, Sean Driver hustling to get ready for you today. Of course, Sean's on the West Coast, so this is a 4 o'clock start for Sean. Hi, Will, Dave, Keith. Gamer World, formerly known as G Zone. Hey, Denise, nice to see you. I knew this was going to be a tough game today to have to jump into early on. It's an away game, not as exciting as some of the others. Trying to get us all set up and ready to go. Bristol Rovers is the team. If you guys don't know, they just switched their coach earlier this week, I think Tuesday. Don't know if they have anyone new. I know they just sacked the old coach. Strange to do it after losing to Birmingham by only 2. 2-0 to Birmingham isn't a butt whooping, but that was, I think, the 7th in a row in which, I don't know, was that 7 losses in a row or at least 7 games in which they didn't win. So I guess making the change right now is probably a good thing. I don't know what their expectations are with winning today, but hopefully we'll catch them in a little bit of chaos and allow us to get rolling again. Hey there, Aaron. How are you? Listening in ATM. All right, so I'm going to bring up the lineup here. We're looking at Howard in net, Brunt, Cleworth, O'Connell. I guess what I would say to that is I thought there was an opportunity here if they wanted to sub someone out. Granted, we think that that's maybe our best defense. Questionable whether Brunt or O'Connor, but for me. But they made some mistakes last week. You could have argued that maybe you give Brunt or Cleworth a rest. You could easily sub in O'Connell for Scar. Instead, they stayed with the same back line. Obviously, you're not moving off of Ryan Barnett. Matty James in the lineup, Cannon and Rathbone. McLean on the other wing. Now, Cannon in there instead of Dobson. Interesting choice. Not that I dislike it. It gives you a little bit more offense probably. So that's probably why they went that route. Dobson is on the bench, though, so he could easily be into the game. And then up front, we're rolling with Lee Palmer, which, at some point that's got to change, I think. But that's what we're with. And then that puts 3 forwards on the bench. Fall, Mullen, and Fletcher are all waiting to come in. The other backups, like I said, Scar, Revan, Dobson, and Foster. Hey, Santiago, nice to see you. Sam Cruz, Sean Griffin, nice to see you. Are we ready, Mr. Driver? Can you hear me?
Oh, I can't hear you. My mic
that's the sound
is
of a
way far away from me.
In the morning.
I don't know how the audio is going to sound. My microphone feels like it's forever away. That's about as good as it's going to get, I think, today. You tell me if I'm live. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. This is an early start. 4 o'clock in the morning is no joke trying to get up for this, especially after the week that I've had in work. I apologize for not getting the Who Are You series. There was just no freaking way. In addition to this, I don't celebrate it anymore, but I also had my birthday.
Hey.
And so it's been a mad week. Holiday train, if you're Canadian, rolled through our town. What was it? The 165th city that it stopped. So mini concert with the kids, get to watch some Canadian talent go and do its thing. And now we get to watch some Welsh talent do its thing. How's that for a transition? I didn't bring the Who Are You, but I did do some of the research. And so before this one gets started, down in Bristol, is this one's fascinating to me in the sense that, the audio cut out and I got really nervous there. Is these guys have a horrible offense in the sense that they don't get chances. Worst in the league at shots on target per 90, 2.53 per game. But their efficiency is close to us, only 2% lower. So when they get the chance, they score it. That tends to have me believing that this is one where they just don't get the ball forward enough. They don't get any chances. And I think with us, that's going to be a dangerous recipe just because we tend to shut down opportunities and we have an impressive save percentage. So it's really a battle of efficient strikers who don't get the ball against a top save percentage team. We'll see how that boils down. They're second worst in the league at creating goals. You look at their accurate passes, 21st, accurate crosses, 21st, accurate long balls, 22nd, possession, 22nd. Defensively, in goal, they're okay. They're good. Some would argue. The rest, we're looking at. They're just not getting the ball forward, and I don't blame the strikers. They're efficient. To me, it's not connected. I don't know if that's adds some sort of insight. And I see all the happy birthday, congratulations stuff going out there. So massive appreciation for that. You know what? It was a good day. Birthdays, now that you're a dad, they're not about turning another year over. It's all about the kids, and they had an absolute blast running. The 3-year-old picking out the card, and he was so excited that he picked it out. And the eldest who'd written all over it and made things at school. It was a pretty cool little thing. Christmas card stuff. It was good. This is ridiculously early. Help us out. If you could do me the favor, please. Let the algorithm gods know that we're here. The like button is down below. If you're watching over on X, you're watching over on Twitch, the chat is live with a whole host of wonderful, amazing, beautiful people. And let's start with the most wonderful and beautiful of them all, Brendan, who's helped out with keeping the glue on this thing all season long, as well as W&G in the chat, who provides the scores, Kim and everybody with their stuff. And so, yeah, we don't make jokes about if Canada becomes USA's 51st state, you'll be able to watch Paramount Plus without VPN. No, not funny. It's one of those things that there's some Albertans, which is kind of like our Texas, that are like, that sounds like a great idea. But more in a northern Albertan, like, yeah, right, bud, we're okay with that, eh? That's how that accent would go. But other than that, not too many Canadians are pretty excited about the idea. And I'm sure there'd be some pushback. And the sad thing is, as crazy as this is, for the first time in my life, I now have an exit strategy, because you never know what you're going to get with Donald J. Trump. I don't think he's all there myself. American voters disagree with me. But I, for the first time, have an exit strategy that if the U.S. military decides to roll over, how do I get out of here? That's a real thing now. That's a real thing, being a neighbor to the United States, is that there are people like me who have to go, hold on a second. Are we really at risk? Probably not. I don't think it's probable, but what do we do if? And I've never had that thought in 47 years of my life. I don't know when Canadians have had that thought. But yeah, that's how that goes. So it's funny, haha, but it's not funny, haha, if you know what I mean. Anyway, back to football, because that's where the fun is. This is a bit of a run. Bristol, what are we getting? I mean, they've changed their manager. Brendan, you've seen this script before in North American sports. I don't know if we've seen it in UK, where we play the team right after a change. But sometimes just the coach change all of a sudden rights the ship and causes problems. And you see teams go on create. Sometimes there's no change. Sometimes it's just struggle. But it's been a trigger before, and teams have turned around and found magic.
I agree. I think it unburdens them from pressure, right? Like right. There's zero expectations when you just lost your coach midweek, right? And you have some interim person stepping in, and they can now go for it. They can, forget about defense, go all offense, go crazy. They can change things up. They can come at you sideways, and they basically get a free pass. Like whatever the decisions they make, however they run it, they're not expected to do anything. So you have to expect everything now. And,
yeah. 100% the part that and that's the most concerning part. I mean, I just really don't know what to expect. Will the stats hold? And the other thing is they're not bad at home. 4 wins, 2 draws, 3 losses. So that's not horrible.
Yeah. I have Andy's graphic up, by the way. Andy's great at making those graphics.
Oh, yes. That's the other.
Yeah. He sent it into Discord. It's up on the screen. Gives you a nice breakdown of the top teams at a glance because he color codes it and everything. You can tell who's playing who, the best teams, the relegation teams, the little tidbits about the records and the streaks. So that's up on the screen behind you right now.
Perfect. And I don't have it on my screen, so I'm just going to have to say thank you to Andy. I literally crawled into bed and fell asleep at 1:30 in the morning. So I'm running on 3 hours sleep. I'm a little bit more spry than I thought. But hey, the other thing, and I don't know if you noticed, I haven't set it up, but I've changed the lighting in here. And I don't know if there's a little bit of a glow or not behind me.
Very romantic. I'm feeling
I'm trying to set the mood over here. Getting everything started.
Wow.
So you've already gone through their our lineup. For them, Lee Swaby is the ref. I've seen, and I can't remember, but the name sounds familiar, and now I can't. Now I'm nervous because it's like that Oldham guy where you hear the name, and you're like, wait a second. If I recall a referee's name, it's usually for a reason, and it's not a good one. But it might have been the opposite. I'll have to have a look. Interesting, and you went over this at the start. No real changes other than no Dobson drawing into the lineup. Do we have a rationale of what's going on with that?
Not exactly sure. No. Maybe they felt they worked well without him. I have kickoff about ready to start. What do you?
I'm about there too. I got Bristol over the ball going left or right. We're going from right to left. McCormick's standing over the ball. I'm just trying to find the stats here to bring these up so that I've got guidance as to who's who, and then we should be ready to get going. And it sounds like I'm way far behind you as we get started. No immediate set play in this one, which will be the first time in 2 games that we've watched that there's higgledy-piggledy stadium, Mark Griffiths defines it as. And then we're underway. Whoo-wee. Griffiths in my ear and also kicking the ball. 2 different ones. I love these old stadiums. Like, you look at this with like the big massive stadium with like the afterthought add-ons afterwards. That's some magic, and what a trip for the fans that are there. And the gas. Whoa. Palmer into it already. We got fireworks to start off with. Unexpected. Nobody's budging here from Palmer. He's got him completely framed up. All right. Is Parkey going to get a card here because he stepped out of the technical area?
I don't know. He grabbed his coach. I mean, his player. He's trying to break it up, right?
Yeah, it's like the 6th man off the bench. So I have no idea what triggered that.
There was clutching and grabbing by the Bristol player.
Yeah, I see that now, and he still had him by the back of the jersey before Palmer raised his hands up. All right, a little bit of fun. Palmer gets the first touch after the throw, and away we go down the right side, headed away there. Got to get used to the names for Bryson. I don't like that. Wilson got it up to Mola. Mola had to click into McCormick and just had an empty gap to go and fill, but fortunately the touch wasn't a good one. Howard collects and thumps it down. Brad Foster, and he's got an additional name. I didn't realize he was double-barreled. Theniger. Lots of news. Matty Smith signing for another extra season. Oh, and here we go. Wilson into the box. Wake up, lads. Wake up, lads. Touch back. Brunt's got a dance. Tackled in the box, knocked out. It's going to go for a goal kick. But it's the second game in a row that we're a little bit lazy. Bus legs. Got to bang the legs out. And I have to get my coffee going. There's so much going on here. Interesting that they go with the gas and they've got a pirate on their logo, but I guess the history of that one, Eastville Stadium used to be near some gas works. Back we go. McLean switch on wide, sweep over to O'Connell's going to play it back to Howard to plop this one forward as we just eat a little bit of control. Wild West football is what Mark Griffiths anticipates, and that's down. If you're looking for this one, Paramount Plus is available with Sky, and so that may increase your who it's available for internationally. And certainly domestically. If you're joining us and you're watching on Sky, hi, how are you? Wherever you are. And there's a running list of countries that have joined us. If there's a country that is new, feel free to throw that in. Early cross, far post, and headed away. And is that headed before the corner? Well done. That was Moore came over to cover not one of their center backs, one of their midfielders over on the right-hand side of their 3-4-2-1. And he slid over. So this is from the left side, right-footed in-swinger from Elliott Lee, I'm assuming.
That O'Connell's sporting there. Holy mackerel. It's a lot of hair.
O'Connell got into Dobbs. Got to have the hair gel on the pitch at all times. That's like a new rule this year. So I guess O'Connell said, Dobson out. I'll lather up.
Yeah, he's taken the whole bottle full of gel there for him. Maybe that just wasn't enough gel. That's why he's on the bench.
Oh, come on.
Dobson.
If you miss it, the referee ran all the way over to look at the placement of the ball because the sphere has to be over the line and had Lee move the ball. Here's the entry, right-footed, far post, dangerous. Headed away, but good clear, close to the goal and got on the right side of the ball. But that was a good one. I'll take that from a delivery from Lee if that's what we're going to be getting today because sometimes we're a little bit suspect. And I've been ignoring the chat. Bad me. Barrow up. Fear the hair gel. Little bit of help.
Like the looks of the stadium, by the way. It's a nice looking stadium.
I love these Eastville, the old girl. I love these stadiums that the stands just sort of went up and they were looked like, you can tell it was 1930. We need a stand. 1950. Hey, let's put this over on one side. 1970. Let's make it tall in the middle. Okay. Well, what are we doing about the sides in 1990? Oh, put some open uncovered standing room only scaffolding over on the side, and it's
got character. Yeah,
it's not character. It's
look at this guy. He won't move. Did you see that? Holy crap!
I was trying to figure out who that. It has to be the fourth official. I was trying to figure out who that was because I was like,
sure. Seems like a coach. He was talking.
Well, he's talking to the other, but it's way outside of the box and not in front. That has to be the fourth official. That seems odd to me.
Yeah, and he wouldn't get out of Clearwater's way.
Or the Bristol Rovers play, to be fair. So he's the most important person today and stands at the center midfield stripe and interferes with the game because Max was even saying, hey, dude, I got to throw it in. You want to move out of my way?
He still won't move over there. He's just getting in the way. He's making it all about him.
He's still there. He is. He's an inch away from the sideline, being like, "I own this domain." Oh, Max is down. Is that from took a shot on the side of the jaw?
I didn't see it.
He seems fine. I thought.
Yeah, well, so did Arthur until we found out his hand was broken.
Fair. Mark said the same thing that I thought is when he came down. I thought it was his. Well, he's away. He's got an opportunity on the throw in and he has to hold up because there's nobody there. Here it comes, drives towards the middle. It's flipped into the area, headed away. It comes back down. Lee tried to get it. Not going to get to Cannon. Stabs up. He can save it. Can he save it? Tries to, and it got kicked out. Well done. Oh, he didn't. Okay, they said it went out. All right. I like the effort. Going back to Cluworth, I thought the same thing Mark Griffiths thought when he saw it, is that it was the going down awkwardly and with his ankle. I thought was the issue. Oh, what's our throw? Barnett flipped up, headed away. Comes Rathbone to Palmer. Oh!
Handball.
And it's going for a goal kick. Palmer, was he screaming handball or for a corner? Didn't miss. So that was a right-footed volley opportunity on a nice flick over top, and Palmer Rathbone flicks it over to him, and boom. Did that hit his left arm?
I don't know. He had both arms out wide. Like it.
Yeah, he was running out like this.
If he touched anything at all, even
it had
barely,
to have been a pen, but I don't think it did. He could have hit the net. He could have hit an arm. Either way would have worked, but instead Palmer lasered over top.
It's amazing he didn't hit an arm. That guy was big birding it. Like he was fully outstretched.
Yeah, outstretched and close. Nice little pick there, or attempted pick by Rathbone, but a little bit too much force, and so it rolls out. And over on this side, we're doing the Crawley Town, where we go straight down. Might be getting some vertigo. Lincoln up 1-0. Barrow up 1-0. And if you were looking for some other matches that happened yesterday, you would have seen Bolton and Wickham play to a 0-0 draw. Brunt's hit. Free kick, going to be dangerous area, 18-yard box. That was Brunt went to hammer it down, and it hit our own teammate McLean, and then it came free to Moore, who's right there, and got pulled down by Brunt. And so they're going to be about 12 yards away. No, 18 yards away. I thought it was closer. 18 yards away from the goal line and about 3 yards in. Let's call it 3 yards in from the touchline. So dangerous opportunity here that'll need to be defended. One person in the wall, just McLean. Most likely just a Mark Lindsay, who's going to right foot this one in as we approach the 10-minute mark. See, these set pieces are the ones that I don't like, because now you've brought everybody forward. You have a team that's not able to create, and so you're giving them set piece chances in dangerous territories. That's the recipe for disaster, and it's put away. Palmer heads it away. Cannon advances it on, and Barney says, "Get out of here." And the ball goes rolling. How's that for my Massachusetts accent?
Not bad.
Not bad. They're not happy with this Lee Swaby guy.
He's calling BS, the major flop there. The Brunt one, the offensive player hooked Brunt and then dropped. It made it look like it was Brunt's issue.
That one advanced forward. Dangerous because it was missed on the header, but it got headed and went wide. So it's going to be a.
Howard looked a little gimpy there. Side. He was not moving laterally fast.
It was more dangerous than I thought from an entry all the way in. But see, that one's, you've got to call that. O'Connell goes up to go and head it away, but he's getting helped by a shoulder tug. And the pitch in that area has been abused. Ignored. It's a muddy puddle along the touchline here. Lindsay, right-footed outswinger. The far post. EOC clears it away. Scramble there to go and try and collect it. So it's going to come potentially in McCormick. And he loses it. And well done, McCormick. Lost control.
So in a scenario like that, you notice that they don't grow grass someplace else, cut a square out and come drop a meter by a meter square in that corner there. Like, I don't understand. They don't seem to patch the pitch. Whatever it is at the start of the year is what they end up with at the end.
Well, I know that they do work all year long because you see the stuff happening all year long. So I think it's just a byproduct of that. Once it goes, they just struggle to get it back. And I don't know if that's.
Yeah, but you understand what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
the U.S., they'd cut a square, they drop a turf in that they would grow in
turf in and all
someplace
that sort of
else.
stuff. Yeah, I don't know. Clueworth switch diagonal to Palmer, trying to get there. Loose ball. Lee, he tried to drag it over to Rathbone over on the left-hand side, but it rolls too far and it comes back to Griffiths, who ends up clearing it to keeper. And I think that might go out. Oh, no, not even close. Brunt able to collect it, though, and gets up to McLean on the left-hand side, who is welcomed to booze. Palmer, or Lee tried to get it to Palmer, couldn't do it, and it's cleared out in Conte. All I saw was a ball go flying by the screen there, right in front of the camera.
President Xi there ended up getting his hands on some Wrexham lager in Australia, except he's disappointed that it wasn't shipped all the way from Wrexham, that it was made in Sydney.
Wrexham USA had a taste test because they had the Wrexham, and Wrexham USA is like they're getting more active and they're doing more things, it seems to me, and looking to start doing some streaming stuff. And so their first little tiny foray into that was actually a taste test where they're all from Wales, two of them from Wrexham, I believe, and one of them close. And they did a taste test of the Welsh Wrexham lager that they had compared to the American brewed one. So we're still waiting up here north of the border. The 51st state being ignored again. Ryan Reynolds getting an Order of Canada. That is our most prestigious award that we give out to anybody. Matty James gets signed. And there's a collision in the middle of the pitch. There's Palmer and Sinclair end up colliding into each other. Or was that Conte?
Oh, that was all O'Connor there, or Conte.
Oof. Late in.
Yeah.
All gone. Interesting. Did we get a free kick out of that one? Or is that
yeah, we did.
We did get a free kick out of Conte doing that. And that name rings a bell, and I'm just brought up here. Grimsby Town.
Oh.
Lee dragging it all the way across the line, 18-yard box, gets 25 yards. Barnett is going to serve it up, looking for somebody too heavy, which you don't say too often with the passes. He's got bust legs too. Won it, well done. Brunt squaring it off, and so it framed off to Lee. And here's McLean, left-hand side, looking for the cross. Bangs off and gets a corner. Well done. The crowd active with the boos, one of the louder ones we've heard. So he was with Grimsby Town last year, and then he left during the window. Grabthar, you are exactly right. We'll talk about that as the right-footed in-swinger. It's dangerous. Far post punched out, and it's going to roll for a corner or a throw. That was Lee's looking dangerous today. I don't know. What's your thoughts on that, Brennan?
He's very active today. Grabthar's Hammer. That's just an awesome name. I mean, pull from a really funny movie.
I don't even know the movie reference, so I can't even comment the truth on that one. But I just wanted to say that whole outside of Europe showing it free, that's exactly what they were talking about, Sean Harvey and others, about another. It's entered in, dangerous, skipped up and flipped on. And that was Brunt. Flipped it up and it just missed the net. That's two that have missed by about 2 feet over. I'm surprised Mark didn't get. That was a real opportunity. And if that would have been on target, that would have been dangerous. But just that volley into the feet, difficult to deal with, and scooped a little bit too high. you have 3.7 million followers around social media. You're competing with the Prem on that level, and with jersey sales. You've got sponsorship all over. What you need to do or want to do is go from just curious, hey, I'm following along, to like true fans of the club. How do you get to be fans of the club? You have to connect them. You have to let them see the storylines and become addicts like we are, waking up at 4:00 in the morning, you 7, to follow the club, and everybody else who's in the chat. Well, maybe everybody not in Europe in the chat, arranging their schedules to do this. How do you do that? You got to put the product in front of them. And I think for 2 to 5 years, that was a brilliant ball by Matty James. Drawn forward, scores!
Yeah.
Elliot Lee, the white Pele, on a gorgeous pass from the new signing. Matty James, who scooped that up out of nowhere. That was on our side of the halfway line. Right-footed, long drag right through the middle of the pitch, and he just skipped right beautifully in front of Elliot Lee, who ran that thing forward, and that was gorgeous. Gorgeous. And it's 1-0. It's described as one of the passes of the season. It was out of nowhere. Like, everything's happening all over the pitch. People are scrambling around, and Matty James just looks up and right-footed, and the spin on that, the English curls that over. Goalies all the way out. The backs are in trouble. They get over. Wilson's yelling at Taylor, but that's just getting beat by a gorgeous pass. The curl.
That's what we're looking for out of him, right? To set people up like that. I mean, that's...
Give the man his money. The weight. If you're a curling fan, nobody had to lay a brush to that one.
Wait a minute. If someone wants to do the exclamation point Lee.
Oh.
He's earned it.
New toys, new treats.
Anybody? I can put it in, I guess.
Put it in one time, and then we know it's theirs. That's another nice flip over top. Barnett all the way up there, but he's all by himself, and he got a little bit of a hand on the back, and I need to have a coffee while we wait for exclamation mark Lee to hit the chat. Whew. Back underway. God, that was a gorgeous start. And so,
by the way, I didn't mention it, but there are
looking for a foul here. There's your flop that didn't get called. So a bonus to Lee Swaby that flop where if the ball was close to them, they would have reached for the ball and forced the decision and probably would have been given the other way. That was a flop. Let it go. And W&G giving us, because we're an early start, we're getting all around the place. Aston Villa up on Man City.
There are a bunch of hidden commands that I snuck in this week as well.
We're still in a good spot, but we need to be taking points here from the rest of the games over this Christmas break that are coming hot and heavy here, right? Jin Pig, is that the concern? I thought the same thing, 4-0. And we had a home game, and we ended up losing it on that pen. It hurts, but we did get helped out a little bit with Wickham getting just a draw in their match. Excuse me, sorry. We're having a break here in the action. And so we have a player down getting treatment.
Going out.
Forbes looks like he's clapping. He's out.
He's done, yeah.
Shaking the head. And I didn't see what happened there to Forbes. 4 more goals to get into first place. Birmingham playing on Monday, noon. If you were missing the updates, Stockport eked out one, and it was 1-1 for the longest time. And I was in court, and I was prepping. If you were following my Twitter, I was prepping for a hearing during the lunch break and scrolling through and getting caught up, and I saw it at 1-1 throughout most of the stay, and I missed the goal by Stockport being updated, which was probably good. It would have ruined my mood going in, but it looks like that was a 2-1 well-deserved win by them. And then the other score that was of interest to us was the Wickham match, obviously, and they ended up in a 1-1 draw. And so that's positive. Dropping points, always a good thing. Bolton staying into it a little bit. Peterborough falling out with a loss. And then we just sit here and wait. Lincoln City taking on Reading. That one has some relevancy as well. And really, all the other games other than the Brum one come at 7. But nothing with any real bite in that one. Like, you look at all the teams, and yeah, Barnsley, that's important, but they're playing Leighton. Wigan and Shrewsbury, not much in that were relevant. Charlton, somewhat. But there's not a lot of bite in those games below us, other than the Birmingham game. Santiago. And I missed hearing, Jason, how are you, my friend? I missed hearing the Lee stuff in the background.
Well, how's this not a delay a game? Come on.
Can it be delay when the Wrexham fans are on it saying it's way too long? Taken, and Matty James frames him, and he just ends up clearing. Well done. Pay that man some money. Give him a contract. Already done. And have you touched too much?
It's just you're playing defense hard, right? And the guy's just delaying. Like, you should be forced to throw in on that, right, in a timely manner, not just wait until the other team gets tired.
5-second rule.
Yeah. Is there an expected time frame on that?
No.
Do you know?
No, there's not. You can get a card for wasting too much time and for too much delay. But I should see what the consequences of that are and when the last time is that anybody's actually ever called it.
I mean, obviously they're behind. They're not looking to stall, but you understand what I'm saying. We purposely, ratchet up the defense in that spot, and then he just waits it out.
Yeah, I know. I'm with you. The wind picking up, you can hear it. I don't know if you can pick that up on the Paramount Plus broadcast, but on the iFollow one, you can just hear the wind ripping through now through the mic.
It's like 55 degrees Fahrenheit there, so it's not exactly cold.
What's that in the rest of the world?
Who knows?
55 minus 32 divided by 2. 5/8 is the right thing, but I always do it by 2 because half is easier than 5/8 to do the math. So 55 minus 32 is, so what are we looking? That's not bad. What are we looking at? 8
That's
degrees?
What I said. It's not bad at all.
10 degrees?
Like, we wear, as long as it's not windy, you're wearing a t-shirt and shorts sometimes around here. So
nice. Had a little dangerous dance around Barnet, and so it's going to get crossed there. But Matty James back again. But the header left a little bit to be desired. It got put back into the box, and it's flipped on over. EOC got a touch on it. Conte goes out and collects it, and it's all the way back over to Moore, who holds up, turns backwards, and the fans not happy. Did you have you heard that before?
Wow.
Turned back for possession and control, and the crowd lost their mind. They must have seen that frequently, as Howard kind of got called on there and had to backpedal to make sure that chip didn't go over top. But holy, there was a roar from the crowd on that one. Not happy that Moore turned away, having pressure around the 18-yard box. He was about 20 yards out, and he decided and elected, I'm going to go backwards. Ended the threat. That's what it did. And wow, uncharacteristic mistake there. Interestingly enough, Thomas is a midfielder. That's the sub that came in for Moore. So I'm wondering if they drop somebody back. So we're looking for the location of where number 11 is playing. If he is on the left-hand side of that back line 3, which means they're short defenders. And I look at their back line. They have Joel Sr. that sits back there. Or did they bring somebody back? So we'll have to have a look. 14 degrees Celsius with mist and breeze. The mist and breeze part certainly sounds like the UK, right? Oh, pocket picked. Cannon. And Palmer coming forward. Lee's up there. Palmer, what do you got? And he gets tackled is what it is. That was Mola getting all the way over.
Steamroller. Boy, they caught him in a second. That was awful.
And that's what Mola, who was playing up, I think has come back to cover that left-hand side with Forbes out. Throw in, gets it to lead. Nice little touch, flicked on, and it got blocked and deflected out. So it goes all the way wide to McLean, left-hand side. He's dancing, right footer, deflected and banged off a man. Brunt gets it over to Rathbone. Oh, lost control, but he's able to regain it. 25 yards out, dancing, trying to look for opportunities. Can't find him, and so he draws it back. Boo! I'm joking. Brunt gets it back to O'Connell, and the switch is on. And it goes out for a throw-in.
I would have liked to have seen. I thought Rathbone had plenty of space to, use his off foot and try to slice it in.
That big sign there that says St. George Scaffolding. That's commercial use of the England flag. That ain't okay in North America, especially your flag laws are more strict than us in Canada, but we're not that far off. But it's fascinating to me when I see stuff like that in England. The butchery of the flag, both as it being legally allowable and also morally permissible. Could you imagine going to a game and seeing the American flag having writing all over it? People, I think, would be offended. Canada, we're a little bit more liberal on that, but you can't for commercial purposes. So interesting to me, that St. George Scaffolding. I'm going to get them into trouble. Somebody report them if they're. I don't know if that's legal or not, to be fair, but it's up. Rathbone with it, 25 yards out, 22 yards out. Barnett. Oh, he just missed on that right side opportunity. Screamer from a distance, and that's 3. If that goal was a foot taller and a foot more to the right, the score would be 4-0.
Well, that was a pretty good shot. That was nice movement on that ball.
What you need, Mr. Fitzgerald, is we need to have Brendan have like the WhatsApp or the Discord chat where we can do an announcement to everybody to wake up, because I had my alarm going, but it was still the ding of the full notification blast of my Facebook Messenger that woke me and kicked me and went, oh yeah, that's a stir. That means Brandon's waiting. I got to get going. So that's what we need.
See, I thought I was being a little bit of an a-hole. I was like, no, he knows. I'm like, do you think I should anyway? Maybe just a little message.
3 hours, the body ends up doing its own thing.
Yeah.
Just set up an alarm with Sean's voice yelling, score! 5:30 isn't a real time. Amen. What are we doing, Mike? I'm way too fixated on this sign. It just sits there and bothers me. Why? Mm-hmm. Why does it bother me so much?
Usually we're complaining about the asymmetry of the stadiums, but
today it's this damn sign that's sitting there being like, you can't take a national symbol and use it for commercial purposes. Something got thrown off. Mark calling it a concha, which I'm assuming is the beautiful British Welsh way of defining things by what they do. That conchas you in the head, kind of like the city being the place that you sit. Anyways, Conte with it. Is it a city outside of Yorkshire? I don't know if that's a Yorkshire word. The city. Somebody who knows, let me know. I woke up at 4 a.m. Ay. Yeah, well, I need that problem. I need to get a little older. Well, I did have a birthday, but goes out. It's going to be Chomp lining it up. Having a look. Do you get the sense that we're a little bit slower? I mean, I don't think that. I think we're still rolling at the same pace that we've been going through the whole time, picking pockets and doing things. I'm with you, Sean. Don't use a national flag for advertising. We've created a debate. That's going to be a halftime poll. Dangerous. Whoa, Brunt had to scramble to get that one away, but that's one of those things. The beauty of being a defender, just clear it. And danger, head it on, and Chomp comes run out and grabs it. EOC just disrupting. Not the most beautiful defense. That was scrambly. And just the rule is get it away. As that got crossed in and Brunt had to scramble, and then that one on the EOC header, actually, that was just a missed a missed header. That's McCormick, who's blown it twice. One earlier and then another header there. A little bit better touch and would have been dangerous. So that goes all the way up to
his shoulder, right? That went off as like his shoulder or something, not his head.
Offside from Lee on a goal kick. All right. We get into some useless topics, though, don't we? Maybe brilliant topics. That's what I should call them. Griffiths gets us back underway and gets it over to Wilson. Bristol looking to get it. Brunt trying to pick the pocket, and they let that go with the contact to McCormick, who's got his arms up. I'm actually surprised that one got let go because he did run over top of him from behind a bit, and I think that he had that framed out in the pathway to the ball. But hey, I will take it because Matty James has it on the right-hand side to Cleworth. Halfway line, and he's going to push it forward to Palmer. It bounces up, and it's flicked on. Palmer, can he get there? Palmer got up there, beat the keeper.
I like the hustle. He should have kicked it into the keeper, but
or framed the keeper off, which would have been fun to see because the keeper was going out to play that. Palmer had to get a touch or had to do something because it just would have been grabbed, and Elliot Lee goes down, and Andy Cannon over there having a chat, Rathbone having a tap on the back of the head. That always makes me nervous when all the players go over to see is that just an inquiry or do they know something's up? Is there not a Canadian maple syrup co. that uses the maple leaf as advertising? Yes, the maples, the leaf, not the flag, but the leaf does get used. I have to go back into our national symbols thing. We're more liberal. It's like a star, right? It's the difference between a star being used versus a maple leaf. And I guess the leaf is more iconic than the star because there's 50 of them. It's more identifiable. But I actually had to look that up when I was putting this leaf on to find out whether I was able to or not. And I was. This doesn't look good just from the amount of delay. It looks like Elliot Lee's got a bit of a problem here because whenever they start reaching for the headset and having a chat, you're like, what the heck is going on here?
Yeah, he's got to come out. I think
this sucks.
He's not happy about it, but we got 3 forwards on the bench. I mean,
if he was injured but still maintainable, get him to the half and use the free window. But if it's legit, it's slow and steady getting off. So
I think this is the
right. Of the match, if the goal was a foot taller and over to the left, it would be 4-0. Mullen coming in early.
Why jeopardize Lee? Like who did we see earlier got dinged up? Was that and then ended up
wear and tear just wore him down. Not
Evans.
Going anywhere, which is Evans, yeah. And not going anywhere. So it doesn't. That's helpful that he didn't go automatically all the way back for physio. He's just taking a seat on the bench, so it's preventative. And when you put Super Paul Mullen, who's been looking better as of late, trying to get off the schneid, and
this could be it. This he could come in, no pressure, like
yeah, and he's got some time to work with, right? Get stuck in, get rid of the bus legs in the first half, get warmed up, and then you got a rhythm right before a full half, and away you go. Oh, how did I become addicted to this football club? And what am I doing at 5:07 a.m., 30 minutes in? Jeannie, don't worry. We're all late. These 4 o'clock starts are a bit of a killer. Like buttons are there when you first jump in. That's what you do. Keep the algorithm going. And if you're over on Twitch or Twitter, come join us. YouTube.com @the Red Horde. haven't talked about Sinclair, who've had it for the first time. Gets it over to Mola, who tries to get the cross in, and it gets blocked by Cannon off the back of the schnoggin. Mullen frames him off. Nice, well done, and it's framed back up to Mullen by Cannon, and away goes on the right-hand side, and he's going to try and get it to Palmer. Palmer working over defender, holds it up. He's got Rathbone. Oh, I didn't give it to him. I would have done that, but instead he's going to overlap Barnett. Far post. McLean off the woodwork. Oh, that would have peeved the Bristol fans, and I would have been all for it. McLean, James McLean. Woodwork. Somebody add 1 foot to that goal in all the dimensions, and we're up 5-0. That's probably maybe needed a foot more than that, but we're in the right area. Man, look at the press on McLean with the thump there. Palmer with the nice little overlap to Barnett that gets flipped over far post and just missed. Doncaster. The Rovers up 1-0 over those jerks from Tranmere. I was going to say something else, but I want to keep my PG rating. Palmer. He is beasted this game, like vacuum under control, framing everything around. They don't have an answer for him. The big body controlling everything up forward. 38 minutes. We got 7 more minutes before we get there. A wild and free Canadian. Is that a reference to the 51st state? Well, nice little pass by Barnett, flipped in. Palmer had to hold up, and now that there's a shot by Rathbone, and it's going to go wide. There is so much pressure here. And yes, with you, John. Hoping for some mojo. Oh. W&G with the update. A red card in Reading. They're already down by goal, and now they're in further trouble. Lincoln City looking to do things. What are we eating?
Oh, sorry. Didn't mean to do that.
Well, right now, things look steady as it goes, right? I mean, the Eat More Chips flag, Welsh Techie and the crew. The flag over there. The best flag in football. Don't let salad win. Like, how good is that? Eat more chips, don't let salad win. Ooh, slow pass back to Griffiths there, and Rathbone goes on a run. Not able to get a heavy touch. Cannon dances around. Couldn't get it to Palmer, but Palmer flips it on. Matty James and Brunt play catch. Brunt touches it again over to McLean. This has been some gorgeous football despite the conditions. Like, I'm impressed. The only downside thing is O'Connell giving it away in the box, pushed around, and Matty James comes back to the rescue. Pay that man some money. Brunt gets pushed into incidental contact, but he certainly got enough of them. And I'm trying to remember the game that I said this. It was 3 or 4 ago where the score was only 1-0, but we were getting sort of battered in control and in pressure and all that sort of stuff. And I said at some point in time, this is one of those games that starts to smell like a smash and grab. If you don't start scoring on all of the opportunities you've got, you're leaving the window open for the other team to come back and get you.
Are you feeling that?
Do I? Which story?
Is that what you think right now? Is that the feeling you're getting?
It always makes me nervous when you see this. Like, how many missed chances have we had? I mean, we'll go through the stats at the half, but I think the score should be 2, if not 3-0. And whenever that happens, you get a little bit ugly. The benefit of this being Bristol Rovers is they don't get a lot of chances. I mean, their efficiency is there when they come, but they don't get a lot of chances. And with the conditions, maybe that makes it even harder for them to do a thing. So that gives me some comfort, but I'm starting to get, maybe that's just always being a Wrexham fan. You just always get a little bit nervous.
I think when I get that feeling when I feel it's unlucky. I don't think we've been unlucky. I think we've looked like we almost had it. I don't know if that makes sense.
That was fascinating.
They called him offside, so he couldn't touch it.
No, he thought he was offside, so he held up and didn't touch the ball and sat there and stared at the lino, stared at the lino. And then the flag didn't go up. So Mullen's like, okay, late touches it. And by that time, the opportunity had really lost it. And so if not being offside, had he have touched it, he would have had like essentially a breakaway, free opportunity in on goal. But he was sitting there staring at the lino being like, am I offside? I'm going to wait here. Flag stays down, flag stays down, flag stays down. So he touches it. The Bristol Rovers fans, I thought he was offside. And the Rovers fans go nuts. And see, there's evidence right there that we're okay. It's because even when they get that opportunity, Rathbone comes over and McLean helps out. Rathbone collects it, and they easily get control, and it goes for a goal kick. So defensively, we're largely on point, which is a dangerous combination when you have a team that can't get it forward and a defense that is saying, no, not today.
So when the ones that worry me when we're getting a lot of chances and we're not scoring is when they're sitters and we blow it. A goal you should score. If you make a hell of a great play or a tough and almost score, I don't think that that's a missed opportunity. I thought that was we're looking good. We're getting close. You know what I mean? Like we're looking really dangerous. We took something that shouldn't have been all that dangerous and almost made a spectacular play. To me, that's like signs of momentum going up and us doing better, not, oh no, we're blowing it and all they need is an opportunity to sneak back in. So that's kind of how I'm feeling on this one right now.
Yeah, and I just had to look at the stats, and I'll go over them, but in a second here. But largely, it may be that I'm a little bit the rose-colored glasses may be on the quality of the chances, at least statistically, and so we've been in and about, but not heavy big chances. Lee Swaby, they took it quickly, but he blows it down and says, "No, they made Bristol draw it back into where the foul occurred and stop their opportunity to play it quickly." And the credit from the Wrexham broadcasters going to the Wrexham fans, it's a bad pass, and Rathbone tried to get it, and Moore was able to save it. Matty James, what? Look at that touch. Knocks it down, volley, put his own feet and gets it up, and Mullen gets an opportunity, digs it in. Palmer Cannon! And shot it right in the breadbasket of the keeper. Still sniffing for opportunities is holy Matty James. That's two out of nowhere. That he's just completely said, you know what? I've got some independent skill and talent that I'm just going to show off here. First one with the pass, that one with the clear interception, and Andy Cannon, a little bit more from him would have been nice, as he had opportunities left and right and shot it right in the middle of goal and into the chest of the keeper Griffiths. But volley down, then a free out pass over to McLean, and away they go the other way. That was gorgeous. And EOC turns it over, and now they're offside. Yeah. And the fans giving it to the lino. 5 added minutes. I guess we've had 2 significant injuries. This one's been fun. We've covered the gauntlet. The game going on. Mullen getting a run out. Referee boos for McLean. Advertising on the hoarding. We've covered the gauntlet. Goofy wants it to finish. Parkey and Mullen must have the same barber at the Heads Off barbershop. Long. Brunt goes up and climbs it. Early ball. Mullen's onside. He's got this one. He couldn't get it around. That ball took a funny bounce. And so Mullen now holding it, and he's going to draw it over. Barney, right-hand side, 20 yards out, dances towards the middle, and he's got a space and time, cuts back, is looking for options, can't find him. Cannon can't do it. James, James missing the pass, got a little bit too heavy with it, got into the defender, and so we're going to have to collect, and O'Connell tries to keep it in and can't, and we're going to go to a throw-in. under the infamous scaffolding. Just not a sniff, really. McCormick kind of had 2 opportunities, and he's blown both of them. But other than those 2 opportunities, I don't recall there really being much of a threat. More dancing, dodging Wrexham players, draws it back, and Bristol's got it on their side of the half as they're going to collect it through Taylor, who gets it back over to Moore. Moore with it. Can't do anything, so he's going to draw it back. It's Lindsay and Moore, 2 midfielders, and did that go out? It didn't, so EOC heads it and clears. Rathbone has it, knocks it down. Matty James to Rathbone. Well done, up to Palmer, back to James, and it's all the way to the right-hand side and space for Cannon. We've got space. Flick. Pushed on, but still playing. And it's good. And Cannon thumps it into the net. I don't know why he didn't play it in the... I don't know why Cannon didn't make that pass. Mullen was blasting through an open space. He had a line to him to get to the left and pass it over to him, and he didn't get it to him, and instead gets pushed. Wilden Free Canadian says should be 4-0. Hey, Dylan. PEI. We having potatoes. If you're unaware, Prince Edward Island, beautiful part of the country, and really the famous for his potatoes is PEI. Is that what you're known for? Other than that, and having maybe the coolest provincial flag. No rum in my coffee, not yet. I should have. The Christmas break is essentially
that could be
here.
a yellow right there.
That's trouble. That's got to be a yellow. That was late, and that's one of those ones where you make contact full extension for Barney, and I'm nervous. This makes me really nervous. I'm hoping that's why they have those roughing the kicker calls when your leg is fully extended on the kick and you run into the leg. And when I say roughing the kicker, I'm speaking of American football terms here, gridiron. So Thomas gets a yellow on that one. And there's the man of the hour, the fourth official who's smack-talking people as they're going by. I want him mic'd. Like, what is he mumbling? And he's just sitting right nursed up to the halfway line and not moving anywhere. So we should be getting close to the end here. Palmer with it, and there's a foul the other way as Mola flops, and away we go. Merry Christmas to you, Lakel Cole. Palmer's holding the ball, having a chat, and he gets a yellow card for walking the ball away. They say they bench pressed him away. I didn't see that. The ball being collected didn't need to be done. Oh, yes. Anna Green Gables. I will take that. And there's the whistle. Right on cue. Holy cow. So there was a lot there that we covered, from Horting to the fourth official to the wind to Lee going down, who looks fine, by the way. He's on screen. He's walking off, and he's just having a chit-chat with the physio as he's leaving. The Horseman-led Bristol Rovers didn't do much. Brendan, what are your thoughts on that as a half?
Promising. I like how we look. Everyone seems to be playing hard. Defense doesn't look particularly awesome, but they don't seem at all threatening. So it's doing its job. And, love to see Matty James dropping those dimes, perfect passes. If Mullen can just stay on side, I'm expecting a couple of goals in the second half.
I think you're right there. I mean, we've had we've been in and around the net the entire time. It's been rather impressive. Hey, Michelle, nice to see you here. one parent joined, and I invited my mother to attend. She went 4:00 in the morning. Are you knucking futs? Her words, not mine, so I can use them, and it can still maintain its PG standing. And would certainly qualify for the Red Horde. Hey, Dylan Miller with the line. Want to look at the table, or you want to look at the stats? There's not much to look at the table because there's not.
I have the stats up. Yeah, there's only two games going on.
So we'll just chat about that one. Here's the fascinating stat: Bristol Rovers 0 total shots, 0 shots on target, 0 big chances, 99 accurate passes at 65%. That's par with what we sort of were talking about. Is Bristol doesn't look horrible midfield back, although we've looked really impressive. I don't think that's Bristol being out of it, but Matty James, Rathbone stirring things up and stealing balls and interceptions, Palmer crushing it in the middle.
That 9-0 was pretty impressive. You see that, the little graphic, and you see all red dots on one side and all pretty close, and then nothing on the other. It tells you what's going on.
Interesting discussion here on the iFollow chat from Mark Griffiths, that the Ask Wrexham hashtag, which they use, that you can tweet out to Mark for them to, you can ask them questions, was in the first half, it reached as high as the 9th most popular hashtag, most used hashtag on the new Blue Sky app, the more controlled, the former Twitter. It's not the former Twitter, but it has the terms and conditions that are different than the Twitter. It's the competitor. 9th most used hashtag in England, in Britain, I guess he said, not England. So that's rather impressive. Anyways, the rest of the stats, the other one that I wanted to scroll down to, interceptions. Do you see that one? 4 interceptions to 1. This hasn't been just Bristol completely falling apart. We've nicked a lot of ball. We've positionally been in play. We've had the volley touched by Matty James, where he knocked it down to himself and then spun it out to McLean on the left-hand side, or Rathbone, I guess that was, on the left-hand side. It's been impressive all the way through. For us, 9 shots, 2 on target. That's the issue. We've created all the way through.
You would have expected with 9 shots against 0 that the ball possession would be significantly different, right? 53-47 is not exactly what you'd expect, because you're thinking 9 shots to 0 shots, one side dominated. Did they have possession a lot? Were they constantly just owning it? Nope.
But that fits with our mantra that Wrexham is not a club that sits back and bashes the ball between the center backs. When we have it, we go, and it's on our foot. We're on the front foot, and then it's off with an opportunity and a stab at net, right? And then it comes back. And so I'm with you. You'd expect certainly more possession, but it also fits with how we play. As we're going through the highlights there, and there's the Palmer screamer up over the top, missed by a foot over top. All told, I mean, there's nothing for me to worry about, nothing for us to worry about when a team has 0 shots as far as what the hell is going to happen here, except for the fact that when you sit there and you see 9 shots, you see the shot map on FOTMob, if you bring it up, when there's no shots on the other side and all you see is red, and all of them but 2 are outside of the box, are inside of the box. And you think, we're in total control of this. The problem is I like me some comfort, because smash and grab or late minute goals, you think Charlton, you think the game against Cambridge, and you just think, let's get away from this as a storyline, please. And maybe I'm just unnecessarily getting nervous. I love Blue Sky, says Denise. Hey, my mother is listening. She did wake up. Sorry, I didn't. I love you, Ma. That probably more than likely means my dad wasn't sleeping. And so that means she's up anyway. But But we got the mums here. What do we add to that? Like, I mean, the summary for this game is there's nothing to talk about from the Bristol perspective as far as threats go. McCormick had a header opportunity that could have got on goal and missed it, and he had one with his foot that he cleared up over the top of the goal, and I thought that was a shot. Like, I recall there being an attempt by McCormick that missed. So, but even those, that's favorable lenses. Man, they just showed the Matty James volley down, gets it all the way over. It was Mullen on that side, and that was Cannon with the opportunity. Let's talk about this one. That play with Cannon going down with Mullen on the left-hand side, and Mullen's got that channel open up for him. He's wide open, and I saw a path there for a pass. Do you begrudge Cannon for maintaining the ball and looking for a shot there? What were your thoughts?
I thought he was a little bit out of control. I think the ball, it was a little too close to him, and his own foot was almost in the way for the cross. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like,
he's twisted up.
The ball was in so close that it wasn't really ahead of his left foot, so he was going to cross it. If he tried to cross it, he was going to end up spinning it off his own toe on his off foot. So I think he was, he was trying to move so fast, and he was taking little choppy steps. He just couldn't get himself to a point where he could make a good pass. And then it looks like he just ran out of room and just dropped onto the ball. I don't think he even fell. I think he realized he was out of control and dropped onto the ball to try to make something else happen. But
more him on the way down than the pressure on the back. I get it. I just wanted to talk this. John said, where was the SPM goal? It wasn't an SPM goal. It was the play from Matty James that got it out to Mullen on the left-hand side, who got that cross in to try and get the goal that I was impressed with. McLean hit the upright. So Woody's starting to feel a little bit of the same thing. McLean hit the upright. Hope we don't rue or missed opportunities. Should be 3-0. And see, that's where I get.
Barney's shot, I thought, was going to go in. Like, he took. That was a really good chance taken there, and could have easily gone in.
Yeah, Cannon with the opportunity. Even Palmer. Oh, just kicked my thing. And I don't know if that's thrown me off with where I was set up. McLean hit the upright. Cannon with the opportunity. We've been all over the place with chance after chance. Barney as well. It's 3-0. It could be 4-0, and you could say it was deserved. And that's the only bad part, is if you're one of those people who believes smash and grab sort of late minute goals end up completely changing the story of the game. And yeah, that's what I'm nervous about. What else to talk about? Like, that's really, we can talk about food. We can talk about the St. George hoarding, the flag being used as the St. George flag being used as the hoarding. As far as matches go for Wrexham coming up, and just a reminder, and I know what I also have to do because I haven't done it yet. Blackpool visits Wrexham on Boxing Day, 7 a.m. start for that one. We're back 3 days after that one for Wigan Athletic visiting at the race course. And then we turn around New Year's Day, 7 o'clock in the morning, to go on our road to Yorkshire and go to Barnsley. And so that's the flip over the season, almost halfway through, and sitting as it sits. You look at the League One table, and we won't just to highlight, we're sitting there tied for first. Yes, Wickham has a game in hand, and yes, they've got the goal differential. It would be nice to. That's the other thing, is scoring. If it would have been 4-0, add 3 more, and we'd be tied on goal differential. Something to look at, even though Brum sitting there 2 points behind, but now with jeepers, 3 games in hand.
I forgot to put the countdown clock. I'll have it up for the second half. I forgot to just turn it on. But I'm starting to feel like at this point in December that, we're 10 days out, that now it feels like the right time to talk about transfer window and what we think they're going to do. It seemed a little premature for me before that, but I'm curious. It seems like they they're leading us to believe that they're going to be making moves in this window, and I'm hoping it's like, I don't know that they have anyone else that they can extend or sign for the most part, right? Like it's only Bud Vartson that you could, think about extending. So if they were like cryptically trying to tell you they're going to do something, and all it was something like sign Bud Vartson, I don't think that's it. So I think they're going to go get someone, and if they are, the question is, we're presuming it's some sort of striker, right?
Yeah, and I also find it interesting is what's going to happen with Mr. Dalby. I don't see him coming back. I think both because if you're Dalby and you've struggled in Wrexham and you go up into the Scottish Premiership and you're thumping the absolute tar out of it and you're playing every day and you're having fun doing your thing, I think he wants to stay up in Dundee. I'm curious as to how the negotiations work there, because obviously we want to get paid. Do we threaten taking him back and recalling him on the loan because we need him and using whatever terms and force and compel them into a transfer opportunity where they've got to pay some money to keep him and sign him? And are they that keen on him?
Do we really need to play those games? Do you know, like?
I'm curious about how those negotiations work, right? Because I've obviously I do a lot of those sorts of things, and so I'm curious as to what the culture of those football negotiations are, because if you want to get a little bit of scratch in a transfer during the transfer window, you just give a reasonable offer and see what they end up saying, and you either because if you let the window close and you get nothing, you're letting them go for free, right? And so do you recall him if they don't give you what he likes and you play those silly games? I don't know. That one's interesting to me. And I'm also fascinated to see who we get, because there's been rumors. Humphreys told Josh at the local pundit that look to Scotland, and they're thinking in the £2.5 million range, which I don't see who the hell they transfer for that is quality up from the Scottish Premiership. That none of the names that I was looking at excite me. So no. I don't know what's going to happen. We'll see. I
definitely don't want that. I don't want a minor upgrade. Like, if we're going to do it, go for it. Like,
Woody on my point says,
did you see the Leeds? The guy from Leeds, the oft injured in the last few years.
I remember watching him. So when I have a brother-in-law who's a massive Leeds United fan, so it was one of the clubs I was looking at jumping on the bandwagon for. It was Liverpool, it was Leeds, it was Doncaster Rovers. Those were the sort of the clubs I was looking at before finding Wrexham. Right, I've got to get into football. You marry a Yorkshire lass, you got to get into football. The whole family's into it, and none of them spoke to me. But he was with Leeds, and he looked good 6-7 years ago. He looked exceptional. I just think I think the sun is set on things with him. And I say that, but it's fascinating. Our competition for his services is a Serie A team. You want to talk about Wrexham hitting the big time? Who are you competing for in the transfer market but a Serie A team? I think it was Genoa. I mean, that's crazy to me.
Yeah,
so
I'm
John Lane says recall the Dalby thing. I just wanted to touch on this. John saying we really need him and recall him. Woody saying be nice and let him go on a free.
That's what I think. Yeah.
And so and there's a thing with loaning players out and doing that sort of stuff is you also damage your reputation if you start playing silly buggers if the player ends up doing a good job, right? Then people don't.
Yeah. She just shows some goodwill, and it helps your reputation, because everyone's looking for reasons to hate Wrexham. Don't give them another one. And the money's not that big of a deal. Like, you're not going to get a ton for Dalby, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Deandra, thinking of you and the pup, and hope everything's all there. Maybe one of the Japanese players from Celtic. Well, it seems to have worked for Birmingham, right? Although I prefer my South Korean players to my Japanese players, but it's I've got this Wales, the smaller country, better than England, Canada over the USA, South Korea over Japan. It's always those.
Hey,
Those smaller countries.
no one's
right?
stopping you from being wrong. It's okay. You do you.
We're about to get underway. There is a halftime sub coming in here for Bristol, and I haven't done the plug. All of these games being brought to you. This interesting angle. Let's talk about that later. But all these games brought to you ad-free by Ultimate Promotions, ultipromo.com, ultimatepromotions.biz. If you are looking for your pins, they can be these: the press model, the soft enamel, the hard enamel. Reach out to them. They're also looking to do more of those medals. And if you've seen those for the challenge races or you've seen them for sports competitions, unique artistic type creative, not just the press medal of those sorts of things, reach out to my sister at Ultimate Promotions, ultipromo.com, ultimatepromotions.biz. Let her know that the Red Horde worked and she's getting some interest for this one. If that's something that you do, sport trading or otherwise, reach out to the Red Horde and thank you to them for making this happen. The underdog cheerleader, that's me. New Zealand over Australia, because I lived in New Zealand for a year. Pets for the puppy, indeed. And we're back underway. Mullen playing it back. Wrexham going from left to right on your computer monitors.
They had a sub, by the way.
A couple of subs I thought that came in, and Palmer settled it down, got it to Cannon, it gets kicked out, and we'll get a throw in here on the right-hand side. Matty James leading the way, 7.8 on the FOTMob rating. Elliot Lee second. And fascinating enough, after that on the FOTMob rating, it's all Bristol. Jamie Lindsay, Conte, Mola, and Wilson over everybody else, which I find fascinating.
I thought they might give that guy a yellow right there. I mean, he went up high on that block. The interference call.
I was too busy staring at the FOTMob stuff, so all I saw was that the free kick had been given. I love the cameras being in the back of the stadium where they've got the poles, and so whenever it screens, it's like you're looking through a window. So we're gonna get a free kick here from about 7-8 yards. Oh no, further than that, 10 yards. Scooped over, far post, and way too heavy.
Yeah, what you missed was Cannon split the two defenders, and the ball was out ahead, and Cannon was going to break free. The guy was not going to beat him there, so he took Cannon out with forearms to the face.
Well, that's not allowed.
Yeah, that's why I thought they might give a yellow, but they didn't. So.
And Deandra, love the video, by the way. Brendan put together a clip of videos. I added a little bit of captioning to it. Sent that one out there. Going to try and do more of those. That was
Deandra. My video was like almost 5 minutes.
Yes,
Sean only gave you 30 seconds of show time. I gave you 5 minutes.
It can only be a minute for tiki-taki.
I know. I'm just joking.
Barney spinning in the washing machine, and he gets it over to Max Kluworth, who sends it over, and it gets cleared. Goodwin. So they've got Omocheri and Senior who came in. O'Connell's going to get a yellow card there. So the two halftime subs, Joel Senior slides in.
Is that a cast? It is, isn't it? Yeah.
Is it just me, or is the rain getting heavier? Let's not jinx it now, Lee, but I'm with you. The challenge is, the concern has been, even though Bristol has done nothing, is it only takes one lapse or one brief moment of brilliance, and all of a sudden, all this domination that's occurred the entire match is all for naught.
Will you stop trying to talk that into existence?
Okay, fair enough. It's how I feel. Palmer had it, lost it. That's a flop.
You're taking my gig from
flop.
me. I'm the negative one. You're the cheery Canadian, you know?
They're screaming off. Bumped into the body, and so they're going to get an opportunity here. 20 yards out, 19 yards out. Dangerous opportunity. This is one of those ones where you can certainly go up and down. And I think that's going to be the play. Rather than putting it into the area. If you're not getting opportunities, it's maybe a little further out than I thought it was going to be, 22 yards out, but still 3-man wall. I don't know what Lindsay's got for a boot, looking for a right footer, so he's either going to swing it in. You take a shot because of the conditions. Far post. Howard punches it away. Still collected, though. Dangerous opportunity. Flipped in. And that's Matty James. Barney, the pass ricocheted. Turned over. Opportunities over 18-yard box. Rathbone over, and well done. The hustle. Flipped up, still in the box, and it's cleared over. Dangerous. Left footer. Blocked. Oh, it'd make me nervous. Barney.
Great D by McLean there.
Things are a little bit more spry here with Bristol now. That's Conte who ended up getting that over. Mola collects it, draws it up. Thomas, left-hand side. Far post. Oof. Concheri not able to get it up there, and Howard collects it, and away we go. Continued pressure. Omacheri with the opportunity there, but the header goes up in the air and able to go and collect it, and I've lost track of the yellows. Well, let me see if I can help out on that one. O'Connell's got one. Palmer's got one. And I'm just going to scroll up here because usually they have. Palmer draws it back in, but it's right there. I'm going to go for a corner. Rathbone had that opportunity kind of out of nowhere. The defender missed that play. I thought when I went, I thought the defender was going to put a boot to the ball and just clear it. And where the defender right there, what was he doing?
You're sightseeing.
I thought for sure he's just going to flip that up and clear it out of nowhere. Instead, he lets the ball roll in front of him, and Rathbone's right there to get an opportunity. It gets smashed off of a back and goes for a corner. And so McLean's going to take it with a left-footed out swinger near post.
There was some serious holding on that play. Jersey's being ripped off. Oh, that was a good attempt by Palmer there.
For the yellow, Thomas is on a yellow. No, I thought that was going to go to Mullen. Free opportunity there from Palmer, but it doesn't quite get there. Matty James isn't able to get control, and Bristol's got it, and they're going to go far right. Oh, my word. Matty James with the tackle, but he stopped the breakup, but they maintained possession. Matty James not able to also tackle a guy and immediately get up and then turn it the other way, all within 0.1 seconds. Motivated is a great line. They've been the efforts there, the play through the midfield, the touch. We've been clinical today and in tough conditions, and so that's what's been impressive of this whole situation. I only have them. I thought they had 2 yellows, but I'm only seeing the 1 yellow here on Luke Thomas, number 11. Jeannie, how are you? Took Magic. Oh, Macheri chasing Howard. Now he's chasing Clueworth. Clueworth plays it up over on the right-hand side to Barnett. Barnett flipped on. Too heavy. And it's going to go all the way to Mola. Mola to Conte. And Conte, the former Grimsby Town man, turns it the other way. McCormick. Flipped it on to Omacheri. Gets it back and then bounced off Omacheri towards Clueworth. And he handles that and James clears it. Well done. Like, even just that play, that's not just a massive clear, right? That's a clearance into the area of a red jersey. Like, it always seems that Matty James, even when clearing the ball, gives a teammate a chance, even when it's not perfectly controlled, he's just another level with his touch. Omacheri able to collect it. More possession here, and that was a dangerous pass forward over the right-hand side. Brunt goes over and collects it. Well done. Beat Senior, who was all the way forward, and he plays catch with McLean. Gets it up to Matty James. Back to Brunt. Clean, clinical, and now it's left for Palmer.
Awful call.
Oh. It's a corner. Gave the goal kick. if you don't know, you call it against the offending team. Is that how it is? But they've seen it. This has been the Matty James Show, 100%. Lee was at the game last Saturday, and empty seats in the Temp Cop didn't look good, so they got rid of the fan zone. They're free at other grounds. I have a different North American perspective on that one, and I don't want to offend any of the Wrexhamites with it. I know that it was a source of frustration, but I was always silent on it. It's Cherry. That would put it in the box, and Howard just comes and takes away that opportunity. For me, there's a lot of the sports venues have options as far as hospitality, and some of those are the in-game opportunities where they create special sections that have stuff that happens. And so I was okay with the stab and the extra payment and the money and all that sort of thing. Mullen, nice little play forward to him, feeds it in. McLean, not able to get it, poked clear. That was Senior, the sub, who came in and pulled it from McLean in a dangerous area in the box. O'Connell gets around Cherry. The fans working for a call. I didn't see this big shout for that one. I thought that O'Connell played that exceptionally well. Just not a lot of contact, got in front of the ball, got in front of the man, and played it down. I would think that that's close to textbook. We're with you, Woody. The Wrexham fans, full voice. FC, where the Red Army. Palmer tried to flick it on, got trying to get it over to Mullen, but it got under a little bit, and it rolls. Well, it didn't roll. Flies harmlessly to Griffiths, who collects it, and Bristol's Rovers are going to come forward here. Mullen, that was a nice little pass right over to McLean, but unfortunately, Senior up for the challenge, got a foot on it, so McLean didn't get that opportunity. That's the upside, right? They better sell out. If you're the Wrexham fans and you've forced away a revenue stream and an entertainment opportunity, well, I guess that's still going to be there, but a revenue stream because you were protesting, the games better sell out now. The cup better be jacked. If it's empty on the wings, would you be cheeky if you're Robin Ryan and put the damn thing back in? Maybe not. Palmer lost the ball on the touch on that one, and so Cherry not able to get it. EOC puts it forward, well collected by Rathbone. That was almost a horse collar tackle.
It was.
Yellow card for it. Like he just reached up and grabbed him by the top of the collar and yanked him back. Oh, it was under the arm, sorry. I thought he went over the top. But Lindsay getting a yellow card for that one. So that's two players on the pitch for each time. Oh, Mullen with an opportunity there from 22 yards, saw an opportunity, tried to get to the top right corner, and Mark Griffiths broadcasting told the story as the camera hadn't got caught up. Here we go on the replay as he sat down and tried to curl it in away from the goalkeeper. That would have been some sort of goal had that gone in. And an opportunity really out of nothing. So you'll take those. EOC moving forward, flop with a push on the back, not given. And so Bristol, are they going to gain control? No, Clueworth has it, tries to find Mullen, who was trying to turn away, but it's Mullen who stepped in front and nicked that one, and it gets over to Senior. Senior passes back. Martin. That wasn't Martin, that was Taylor, wasn't it? Oh. Brunt stole it, gave it to Palmer, and we're on the run. Barney, right-hand side, 18-yard box, looking for a cross. He's got Mola with him. There's the crossbar. Post, too far, too heavy, and out of play. Yeah. Lee, that's the... I want to kind of do that game. The problem is I've got things to do. Work. I need a full day, and then hopefully I'm freed up for the rest of the thing. Man, these... headset killing me. Griffiths taking time to get us back underway. The wind must be blowing from left to right towards the Bristol goal. because that one got held up. Clueworth heads it away. Knocked down. Oh, nice touch by Conte. And an opportunity here. 20-yard. He's looking for opportunities. It's flipped. Cross into the area. And Chomp comes out. Collects. Whew. Don't like the pressure. Bristol trying to do things. The gas. I love that eat more chips flag. Like, I'll just keep. Don't let salad win. Underway. Brunt misses the pass to Palmer. Palmer kind of looks back in a little bit of silent disgust. And Bristol here with the opportunity. Conte, left-hand side. Sinclair now. Or sorry, Mola all the way up. Thomas, the sub, tried to get crossed in. Hits Barnett in the back. Dave from Monterey. The West Coasters all getting up early. 5:30 still. Or sorry, 6 o'clock. Long time waiting for this throw in as well. Cherry. Wally nicked Cannon right along the line, just stole it away from Mola, and it's all the way back to Cannon and intercepted, and Bristol going the other way. Paul Mullen comes back and nicks it back, and so away we go again. Cannon, he's got Mullen to one side, Barney to the other. He's going to keep it, and he goes to chip it in looking for Palmer. Palmer knocks it down, a little heavy on the touch, and it gets cleared away.
You got to get Fletcher in there. Get Fletcher in there. That would just be handled. That's an awful, hard, heavy touch.
Kind of gave that one away, didn't he?
There was nothing to that. You could have dropped that within 10 feet of yourself. Come on.
So Barney's with throw-in. Pushed in the back and doesn't get the free kick, and it's going the other way. Not a lot of scores around for W&G to report on in this one, as Lincoln and Reading still sitting 1-0. Bristol's is going to get another throw-in, as that one got kind of nicked and bounced around and then lost by Mullen and goes out again. Mola with it. Oh, Matty James going to be able to collect that, and we're going to get possession as he draws it back over to McLean, who's sitting back. McLean draws it back to, is that Brunt who's playing over there? Yes, and EOC as Clueworth was pushed forward during the throw-in. Howard, too heavy. Throw-in. That's 2. The conditions must be rough because his talent,
his accuracy's down.
His accuracy is lost a little bit today. Hey, Dave, how are you? The Red Horde family. I love that. Love that. Things are peachy keen. Oh. Brunt able to get it. A little bit heavy on the pass, and so he misses Buchanan, goes to him, and so he's into a battle, and he gets nicked away as Conte stole it from him. Omacheri not able to collect, and it goes, just rolls harmlessly over to Clueworth, who's going to draw it back to Howard. I want a buffer. The insurance goal.
Yeah.
Somebody put something on. Somebody in red do a thing, and gave it away. And here comes Bristol. This is senior, right-hand side, draws it in, and well done, well collected. Matty James just comes back and then bangs it off of the attacking, which I don't know why Lindsay's sitting there rolling on the ground. I'm trying to figure out what he's... Or I guess maybe he did get clipped, but I mean,
no,
Matty James playing the ball.
No.
No
Big
issue
favor.
on that one for me.
Big favor.
Wrexham. Max advances it, looking to do the switch. Diagonal. Palmer over his head. Rathbone, can he get there? Throw in, Bristol 5 yards away, and the referees makes them stay within closer to the goal line as Wilson tried to draw it out. And they'll get a throw in now from 25 yards out. The pressure relieved a little bit on that one. 1-0 still. '65th minute. Do we see any Wrexham fans or Wrexham players up? I see no movement as the players bench right next to the goal line there. Our famous fourth official. Barney with it, 25 yards out, dancing. Has Thomas, gets it to Cannon. Cannon's got Barney over to him if he wants to. Turns, he's got Cleworth. Barney, 20 yards out now, still looking. Draws it back to Matty James. Cleworth now. He's got Cannon over on the far end, but Matty James, somebody. And Matty had to go to ground tackle. Oh, my word, that flop. Cannon giving him some smack and said something. And, of course, McCormick gets lip, immediately gets back up and walks over like he did something heroic there. And gets into the ear of Cannon, who probably was saying some expletives about. I won't get into what he was. I think he was insulting, but there were some insults I'm sure that were given. And McCormick immediately jumps up to respond. Garbage flops. Are you okay with this, Brendan, where it's kind of fallen into a little bit of a lull?
I'd like them to pick it up a little bit. Mystery Garden is looking for a quick recap. Mystery, Bristol is they're flopping all over the place trying to get anything because they basically playing like garbage. And Wrexham had a ton of chances early in the first half, not as much in the second half. And we could easily have 3 or 4 goals up there with an inch or more right or left. So yeah.
Fletcher in for Palmer, and on that one, we were just talking about it. That was Lindsay who'd been flopping all over the place, but he got grabbed there by Rathbone just right outside of the box, and maybe a little bit fortunate there. He goes down easy, but Rathbone certainly got enough on him in a dangerous situation. No free kick given, and instead it'll just be a clear. So Fletcher in the 65th minute. Man, if you're planning for a matchup against Wrexham, it's pretty easy to understand that when the personnel changes are going to happen because it's consistent. Interesting to me, Palmer only 5.9 on FOTMob. His second half was not good, but his first half was pretty impressive, I thought. Matty James able to win that one. Bounces around though, and Cleworth not able to get it, and Barnett goes and ricochet, bang, and that was sort of scrambly play, but fortunately it comes free. Fletcher, Rathbone 4 on 3. Rathbone all the way forward, and then am I taking a shot or am I making a pass? Am I taking a shot or am I making a pass? Let's do both. And it was too heavy of a pass and too light of a shot. It just rolls harmlessly out. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Andy Cannon maintains control, draws it back. That's Mullen. He's going to get it to Cleworth as everybody starts to move forward. Diagonal ball looking for Fletcher. That'd be difficult to be able to control it. And he made some contact, and so that's a free kick. I'm not going to complain about it.
No, at least he earned that one.
Yeah. The clattering. The sun's come out and they're showing the clouds and the blue sky. Talking that it's like
they won't see it again
now.
for a few months.
Dangerous and well done by Lewis Brunt to come over from the right side all the way to the left and just clear that one, as it was a dangerous opportunity. Flip forward to Omacheri, and Barney clears it out for touch. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say it's a big deal because they probably won't see the sun for another couple of months, so they wanted to show it now.
I've said this before. The UK is fascinating to me because the mist is heavy, and I think that, to be fair, I think that's an East Coast thing more than in true probably where you are, Nova Scotia, PEI. It's the fog, the mist, it's weighty when it's rainy. West Coast, it just rains. It's heavy rain.
We don't see the sun much now till for the next few months. It'll be pretty much be overcast 90-something% of the time. So
yeah. Players having to screen their eyes from the sun on this one. And just gorgeous. Cleworth just steps in front of the body, easily collects it, plays it back, calm as Howard looking for Fletcher. Rathbone grabs it, and here we go. Numbers forward, red. Rathbone looking, could have hit Cannon, didn't get it to him. Instead goes to Barnett, and we're slowed up. Had the opportunity to put the press on if we could have got it to Cannon, but decided not to. Barney still with it. Right-hand side, gives it to Cannon. Cannon taking on Conte, goes forward. Cleworth, far post, dangerous! Fletcher trying to get there, and that's got to go for a corner kick. Is cleared away right in front of Fletcher, who is dangerous. Wait, what?
Yeah, Fletcher didn't kick that. It was off the thigh of the defender.
That's what I thought. Okay, they did go for the corner. I was like, that had to be a corner. Physics demand it. In swinger, James McLean doing all of the corner duties since Elliot Lee went down with an injury first half. Doesn't look serious if you hadn't joined us. If you joined us late, right ankle, I guess you'd call it. Right thigh, or right calf, right ankle. Anyway, right-footed, flat, dangerous, and knocked out. We'll get another corner from the other side. Those ones are always tough because what do you do as a player on those flat balls that are low near the near post? It's hard to turn those into anything and flick them towards goal.
It's quite the loving embrace they had there on Rathbone, huh?
Yeah, the loving embrace. That was much better. Cleared out. Barney's going to grab it. He's going to knock it back. They're going to maintain possession. We'll see if James pumps it back into the net. O'Connell's there. Knocked down. Fletcher tried to spin to get a foot on it. And as he was spinning, it was cleared. And so we'll get a throw in from the right-hand side. And EOC is injured. Mullen waving him out, saying, hurry up. And he's saying I'm wondering if there's a cut there because Mullen was waving him out with some energy, which makes you think that McCormick out. And in is number 19, Hutchinson, a midfielder. So I'm wondering if there's some blood here.
That's a 5-minute major.
Unless you're going to call it a high stick, and then it's just a double minor. Is that a mouse under his right eye? Like you can kind of...
It looked like, doesn't it? Yeah. How many people do you see?
I mean, it looks as though he's like inflamed, like because we're getting a profile view, and you can kind of see that
his whole face looks puffy though.
It looks like it's when he's running off, everything seems fine. It might have just been the angle, but it looked like he had a. Waiting to see exactly what happened there. I haven't brought the chat up for a while. That's on my fault. I've been staring at the stats. Bad.
Love the SpaghettiOs reference.
Spaghettio.
Yeah, that's a great one.
When the sun is out, it's low in the sky and the
Wow,
blinds.
it's
Yeah,
cold there.
that's
How
true.
about giving a call, ref?
Cannon able to scramble, but and got that into the area. Barney advances it on, just scrambling. Rathbone missed it to the left-hand side by about 2 feet. Oh no, he's limping. What did you do?
Hurt his big toe or something? I don't
20
know.
yards out. Smashed that thing and just bent away.
Are they not realizing that you don't have a chance of making it if you don't put it potentially on goal? And they always trying to, just squeak it in. And you just put a lot of shots on goal. One's bound to squeak in, but if you never give it a shot to get in by putting it wide, I mean.
Yeah, no, I hear you. 75th minute, still just a 1-0 game. Bristol with it here. One total shot for Bristol. We've got 11. 2 shots on target. 1 big chance that was in the first half missed. Bristol knocks it down and tries to get it and cleared. That's what I want to see the whole way through is just thump it out. Thump it out. Lots of standing only seats, eh? I'm going to have to worry about sunburn over on that far side where the players are sitting. Wow, Rathbone, Mullen both there and back-heeled, and so it's collected. And here comes Bristol working forward on the right-hand side. Flops and then steps over top. I like that as a move. But here it comes over to the left-hand side. Thomas with it. He's got it. Nola overlaps with him. Thomas doesn't give it to him. Keeps it, puts it into the area, delivered, and it's knocked down by a Bristol player. Do they keep it in? He laid it off, and Barnett was standing right there. So Barnett gets it up to Fletcher, who heads it on. It's going to go for a throw-in. 76th minute. Let's not park the bus here, lads. Keep the pressure on.
Campbell.
O'Connell back on. No issues there. He's dealing with Omacheri. Gets it forward. There was a shout there for something. Handball Clueworth, but nothing given. Fletcher battling. Omacheri collects. Oh, dangerous. And Max Clueworth to the rescue. Whoo! Right in front of Isaac Hutchinson, the sub that came in from McCormick.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
That was Martin.
Yeah, he read that, anticipated, got ahead of it.
Knocked out. They're going to get a corner out of the deal. And so still dangerous on that as far as that goes. But as far as the play on that and making sure, because that was a dangerous opportunity. This is only their second corner of the game. Going to be a right-footed in-swinger from the right-hand side. Dangerous, headed away. Partly away, still there. Far post, cleared back in. Somebody clear that thing. And it's cleared away and put back into the box. Omacheri. Brunt clears it away. Barnett gets up and clears it away. The counter is on. Cannon, that's going to be a yellow.
Come on.
Played through, playing advantage. Well done by the referee. He's got Barney to his left. Barney to your left. No. Mullen, I know that you were on the schneid and I know you want a goal. But when you have Barney screaming to the left of you and you're wide open, you got to give him the ball. He had the better lane. It was wide open for the pass, and it was screaming for him. You pulled the defender in. Barney right there. Barney right there. Barney right there.
I'm so upset right now. I mean, he was just bitching at Rathbone about not leading him. And it's not like he's making any goals. It's not like he has any right to say he's earned that ball. Got to pass that.
Flicked on. Mullen chasing it down. Scrambling defense working so far. But the thing that I like is when the ball is loose in the middle of the field, I won't say 9 times out of 10, but certainly the majority of the time, it's our quality in the midfield that's winning possession. And I say that as Matty James not able to collect that one. It goes Thomas on the other side, and Clueworth heads it clear, and away we go. Going to be a throw-in. Thomas taking it quickly, and the whistle blows because we're going to have subs.
I find Cannon's way too far out to the right, and he's interfering with Barney. He's bringing another defender over there, and we can't get the ball to Barney today. And every time we do, Cannon's in the mix over there.
The chat is with us. We had an oh my god, that actually makes me mad, and a Mullen is starting to piss me off. It was frustrating. It was one of those ones that if he scores it, you're like, well, okay, you took the risk and you took the chance on a lesser of the two opportunities, right?
He was in control. Cannon was out of control, and it would have been hard for him to get the pass over. Mullen was in control, could have easily slid a perfect pass to Barney. And Barney would have had no one in front of him in stride from the perfect distance. The keeper couldn't have got out and cut off the angle. It was done. It was over at that point. It was a goal. Just slide him the ball, and that's it. And he didn't.
If we end up in a draw, that'll be 2 matches in a row that was Mullen's fault. And that's the kicker, right? Is if he was close, you kind of hold back, but he thumped the shit out of it and went harmlessly over the net.
See how far out Cannon is? He's just clogging up that whole area over there for Barney.
Cannon has it. Right-hand side. Barney, 20 yards out. He's got Cannon. Nope, doesn't give it to him. Runs towards the middle of the pitch. Rathbone swings it over to the left-hand side, and McLean has to go all the way back to collect it at the halfway line. Lots of red jerseys gone all over the place up front. Barney flips it, and Fletcher not able to get there. It's too heavy, and Griffiths is going to collect it. Sitting at 80 minutes, 10 minutes plus added time, and we'll probably have at least 4 minutes, I think, on this one with injuries and knockabouts and things like that. Mullen tries to flick it on to Fletcher, but not enough on it, and so it's collected by Senior, and he comes forward, and he's fouled, and away we go. Bristol's going to just see this one through. 13 shots to 1. Oh, hi, Em. How are you? Parkinson may have some enthusiasm for Mullen in private, I'd say. Mullen with it. He's got Cannon over on the right-hand side in some space. He's got a man behind him. He's going to go far post. Fletcher! Flag goes up. Jeepers. No real rush here by Griffiths. I mean, I'm all for this. He's the Bristol keeper cleaning his cleats, taking his time. Hey, Jeannie, Merry Christmas to you. Hope you have a wonderful one. We'll see you Boxing Day for sure. Work calls. That was not good. Hey, Em, the sun even shines on a dog sometimes, right? Blind squirrels can find a nut. You never know, right? Cannon not able to get his head up on that one, so it rolls over top, and it's controlled by Bristol. It's going to go over to Senior. Rathbone presses on McLean, clipped a player. Free kick close to the halfway line for Bristol. 7 minutes until we get into the extra time. The added time, sorry. Lindsay waiting, standing over the ball. The clock is taken. He's going to leave it there for Griffiths. Talking to the coach. No, they're swapping back the other way. Sub is going to come in. Dobson featuring, what is that hairstyle? The Fletcher cut. What? Dobson's grown enough out that he can do the man bun and has pulled off the Fletcher. Gorgeous.
Do you remember a great Canadian comedian, Jim Carrey, doing that haircut when he was on In Living Color,
In Living
acting
Color, yeah.
as the weightlifting woman
Yeah.
that was on
Yeah.
steroids? That's the hairdo there.
Man, In Living Color. How good was that show? I missed that. Rathbone trying to flop on a 50-50. Mullen getting mauled. Came back to Fletcher, trying to get to Mullen, couldn't get it to Dobson. And so instead it's just going to go out harmlessly and we'll get a throw in. Taking your time is Brunt. Accidentally overrun the ball, have to come back for it. We're back underway, thrown down the line. Fletcher flicks it on, gets knocked out, and it's going to be Bristol with the throw at the halfway line, and they play it on, and that cues Mullen to try the press. The Wrexham Lager chant going through the stands. The bobbing hair of Dobson. Some EOC puts on the helmet. Oh, and Bristol chants, shoot. Cleworth, nice little block, as that was a dangerous opportunity. It goes over to the right-hand side. Rathbone McLean sitting there defending, and he just ended up falling down by himself. Did Shake Ford, the most recent sub that just came in 5 minutes ago, thrown in. Taylor has it. He's got Wilson over on his left-hand side, halfway line. He's looking for opportunities. He's going to go right-hand side instead to Senior. They've only got 3 back in the back, and they're moving forward now. Whoa, you got to... Barney doesn't clear that, and it's dangerous opportunity! Fuck. Had the opportunity to clear, didn't clear, and instead it goes in, and their first opportunity finds the back of the net as Omacheri gets it and puts it on the right-hand side of the net. 4 minutes left, and the script continues. Garbage. That's on Barnett.
He had 2 guys on him there. It wasn't an easy one to
let it know, when he gets his pocket picked. It just gets flipped up, and Omacheri puts it into the far right of the post. Just clear the damn thing. Clear the damn thing. Not much Chom could do on that one. Ends up over on the far post. He tries to get over to collect it, and Omacheri, easy as, plops it in. The first shot on target, and it goes in the back of the net. Well, we'll have a free kick here. 20 yards out. Try and find one late and rescue it. The benefit is we'll probably get 5 minutes of added time here. And so we've got 8 minutes to find some magic. Do a thing. Rathbone standing over it. Interesting. I haven't seen him take too many set pieces. And so it'll be a right footer. Lots of red jerseys in the box here. 20 yards out over on the right-hand side. The chat went silent. Either that or I'm stuck with the reload. Everybody else cursing in the background. Swept in. Dangerous. Headed away, though, and cleared. Put back in by Barney. Keeper comes out, Griffiths, and he's fouled. Collected by Fletcher. And it was the chat. You could see this coming from a mile away. Mullen's not even up to scratch this year. Not League One material. Unfortunately, yeah, knew that was going to happen. It's like Cambridge United. If you're not first, you're last. Second shot of the match, first on target. Mullen, opportunity, ball bounces away, and it's going to go for a corner. Mullen waving to the fans for a chant because he got the corner. Fire something up here. Remember when you couldn't leave a Wrexham game early? It means something different now. Maybe not, John. Let's speak this into existence. Somebody with a late goal here to bring back the Wrexham Magic. Rathbone going to be a right-footed in-swinger from the left-hand side. We've got a delay, a technical issue. The microphone not working with the lino. Out of Deandra GIF here.
Yeah. I found the Jim Carrey one. I'm putting it up on the screen.
Oh, yeah. Two draws against teams at the bottom of the table is not what we had in line. All that heavy lifting at the start of this first half of the season being lost unless we can find something here. That's dangerous. And ooh, just touched by Graffis, and he punches it away. It's going to be a throw-in over on the right-hand side. As Griffiths did enough, and I guess that's all you're asked of, is do enough. The Mankini. Barnett has it and it's put out, and we're going to get another throw-in. We'll find out here. 5 added minutes. Hey, I'm getting good at predicting this stuff. Interesting that I've got the clock. You can see the two clocks. One says 89 minutes and 58 seconds on the right-hand side and 90 minutes and 18 seconds on the one on the broadcast. Barney to Mullen. Mullen tries to get it, and it goes out. It's going to be a goal kick. Bugger. We'll go with that, Thomas. Speak that into existence. A PK by Mullen. Get him off the schneid with a game winner. All the magic comes right.
Well, that's his only chance, it seems. It has to be a PK because he screws up everything else.
Those 4 points are going to... 4 points, 6 points if you count Charlton. Too many last-minute lapses and or... dangerous. Dangerous... Olmacherry gets it over there. Brunt called on to try and take away that one as Bristol on the front foot. How big is that missed opportunity for Moles on the pass to Barney? Do I even have to answer that? I think we're picking up the scraps, are we, from Leeds? Free kick. It's been a frustrating one, that's for sure. Dominated the hell out of the game. Fletcher not able to get that one. It skips over top of his head, and Bristol's got control, and here they come 3-on-3. Rathbone coming back quickly. Olmacherry over to the left. Rathbone does a flyby, and he gets danced into the box, into the area. Cleared away by Cleworth. Fletcher grabbed, pulled. And it's a handball. Free kick, Bristol Rovers going to the left. Silence is all I've got on this one. Is it's back. Griffiths pushes it over towards 20 yards away from the box. It bounces around a whole bunch of people. That could be a handball, but not given. Fortunate for us, but it frees up to empty space, and Fletcher's not going to be able to get there in time. Mullen trying to get there before it gets to Griffiths, but instead it just gets cleared away. Unable to get the ball. EOC was trying to stream up to get that one, but it's going to go out, and James McLean has to get backwards, and McLean puts it forward. I mean, I don't even want to see all the if this ends up 1-1, there's going to be all the replays of all the chances, and it's just going to be red on red on red on red on red in the first half with no goals. And here comes Bristol the other way, minute and a half left, and it's Bristol with all the opportunity and chances, putting the pressure on. One team on the front foot, and it ain't us. O'Connell heads it away, but Bristol collects. The pressure continues. 1 minute of added time. Feels like we're holding on for a point now all of a sudden. Nicked. Well, looking for a break. Barney. Too late again. Barney. And screaming for a handball. It's all loose in the box. 6 yards, and it's going to go for a corner kick.
Great save by Rathbone.
Barney, again, waited too long to make a play on that ball, trying to let the ball come to him. And in the time that he takes for the ball to come to him, it gets nicked and goes the other way. Right-footed in-swinger from the left-hand side. Far post. Hutchinson with it. They're going to put it into the box. Lots of blue jerseys on the far post standing there. Fletcher goes up, able to knock it clear, and it goes. There's the whistle. Yikes. Oh, now we're going to have a $2,500 fine or $5,000 fine here. Fletcher into it. Oh, is that a punch? That was a punch. Number 5, the coach over there trying to get number 5. McLean being grabbed around the neck. Everybody swarms McLean, of course. There were fists on that one by 5 Blue. And McLean grabbed around the neck. And McLean's still into it. And McLean gets booked. Well, I don't know how Wilson doesn't get a red on that one at the end. If you're going to give him out, he was throwing rights. We get. Oh, so Wilson just gets a yellow. Sums it up. Frustrating.
Well, there's a guy that came off the bench. 2 guys came off the bench for Bristol.
So McLean goes over.
Watching the replay.
Watch number 5. See, you can. I missed it on that one, but you can see the coach goes to Wilson. I'd like to see that replay again because it looked like there were 2 short little jabs. See you guys all on Boxing Day. If you are leaving, like, subscribe before you leave. All smiles for the Bristol Rovers on their draw. Frustration for us. Bunch of garbage. You can see it. You can see it.
Are they only able to assess stuff in game? Like, well, they did yellows afterwards, but can they go back and watch video?
Oh no, well, this will go back because that was what's the term that they use? But there will be a cash fine for this one, and in the course of that, they'll review it to find out what ended up happening there. There will be a report that's drafted, and this is now our 3rd mass gathering. That's what they call it, a mass gathering after the game. And I don't even want to watch these highlights because all we're going to see is, Palmer with the volley there that goes over the top. You've got the winged out play that Palmer had that if he hit a hand, it's a handball. If it hits the target, it's over the net. You've got the Mullen decision not to pass to Barnett. You've got the Cannon getting twisted up, not able to get it over to Mullen. Just opportunity after opportunity missed. I mean, the goal was a glorious one. The pass from Matty James, he gets man of the match for me. Nobody else is there. Shots are 13-2. Only one of them on target for them, and it goes into the back of the net. Like, that's 6 points all lost in the 11th hour. right?
Yep.
If you don't get the second goal, the opponent's not dead. Those are the words of Mark Griffiths. And they gave him that. We're clearly a playoff team. Automatic promotion teams take advantage of these and a favorable schedule. And that's the frustrating part is, I mean, we're losing touch. We had an opportunity to gain on Wickham. I mean, the benefit is Wickham drew yesterday, but instead of taking advantage of our schedule, we're losing the opportunities to go up. Yes, Merry Christmas to everybody. If you're leaving us, thanks for waking up and joining early. McLean off the post. Well, that was another opportunity missed as we had chances, 2 draws against 2 relegation teams. What the actual? And I get it. And another classic fumble. I'm hoping this isn't the new continued trend. I guess a thread and a trend becomes a trend. Go ahead.
I think it needs to be said. This is management's fault. And what I mean by that is when we started this year, we were concerned about strikers. We said, other than signing a Okonkwo, our number 1 position player needed to be a top tier striker. And then they went out and got everybody but a top tier striker. And we got lucky that Marriott came around and he was really hot early. But if it wasn't for that, we'd be mid-table right now.
Yeah.
You know, and they needed an established top tier guy that, you know, had been there recently. I know a lot of our players were former Prem or championship or League One guys, but we all knew we needed someone who could finish. And Mullen was hurt, and instead we didn't do anything. And now we're paying for it.
I don't disagree with you. I mean, the benefit that we had is after Marriott got hurt is the defense was there. But the reality is you've got to be able to give yourself buffers. You've got to be able to control things. I thought our midfield dominated the hell out of that game. Matty James, clinical, Rathbone all over the place.
That's where we spent our money. We didn't spend it up front. Yep. That's why we're dominating the middle and we can't finish.
Yeah, MW, we're aware of the Bamford thing. I'm not excited about the Bamford thing. Sunsetting player who's injured all the time. We've got Mo Fall as youth who can grow with the club, hopefully gets the opportunity and becomes something. I said when Mo Fall was signed, he's going to be a player that I'm going to ignore and be frustrated about for at least 1 season, if not 2. And then by the 3rd season, I'll be amazed that we've signed him and he's with the club. That's how I still feel about him, as he's some time. Sean Griffith saying Bamford too old. Nobody would want Mullen in his present form. Trade him for Omacheri. Yeah. Trade's not really the way it's done, but I can't see. I don't think you're loaning him out. But we've got to go and get 2 people up front. And one big, maybe even 2. Mexican flavor coming to spice up our life. I don't care where they come from. I would be surprised if it's an international. Absolutely shocked if our big ticket was somebody who's coming.
We need the whole month to get the paperwork done, as bad as Wrexham is with paperwork and fax machines.
The subs are strikers and aggressive mids. When the clear need the last 2 matches have been fresh defense. I can't blame Parkey for not subbing 8 to 11 players. Yeah, I mean, the in-game management predictable. I don't really have a problem with the personnel that was out there and this sort of stuff. This one doesn't, to me. I can get Brendan's point with respect to management in the long term and the signing failure issue. as far as with the personnel that we have that went out there, do I put blame on this one on Parkey? No. Do I think it's because he needed to shake things up and he failed to do so and follow the script, and that was the problem? I don't think that was the issue. It was the players just let themselves down. Barney on the goal, not getting the clear, and he had a second one later that trying to do maybe a little bit too much, trying to make a play without being safe. You're up a goal.
No, he wasn't done that part. It was tied with in extra time, and he was going to try to break away. So
yeah. The second one I'm a little bit less because we wanted possession, so he was taking a risk at maintaining possession. The first one, when you're up 1-0, it's in your box. You have an opportunity if rather than control and try to break it out, just be safe, bash the shit out of it. Rashford may be available soon. That'd be an impressive signing, I'll tell you that much. But I
think a switch flip for me on Mullen. I was still on Mullen's side. Maybe I gave him some flack here and there, but I was still
101 goals, and you have to respect it, right?
That might have been the moment right there where it starts going in the other direction for me. That lack of a pass is unforgivable. There's no way he sees Barney. There's no way he doesn't see him. There's nobody between the two of them. There's no way a smart player doesn't make that pass. It's a selfish player who takes that shot, especially one who's not on fire, who's not playing well. You can't do that. You can't take that shot.
Or if you're going to, you better effing score. Like if you're going to you've got a defender in front of you, you're still away from goal, the keeper's not really going to be, has opportunity to save because of the distance that's there. You're going to have to really beat him with something special from that.
He also had to slice it around his guy. His guy was on him. It wasn't like he was wide open and he had a more wide open guy. He wasn't wide open. He had a guy on him. He could get the shot off. He bent it around his defender, but Barney's wide open, no defender.
I'm with you. Let's make that a poll as far as let's ask the question, because there may be some quiet support here. So where do you sit on Moles?
Bad decisions are one thing. Two things that are unforgivable is being selfish like that and not working hard, right?
Yeah.
I'm pretty pissed off at his continual flopping and not staying up when he could have had a chance to make something happen. I get pissed off at, I don't think he tries hard enough to stay on sides, and he doesn't need to be doing that, right? But those are arguably more forgivable than making a conscious choice to be selfish there instead of passing it to a hot guy who can definitely score. If you had someone else streaking down the middle that you thought, oh, geez, I can't give it to Dobson, he'll put it in the stands, fine. But that's Barney right there. What the heck are you doing?
So I'm going to put a poll up. So what do you think about Mullen? He's still great. He's going to prove himself. He's okay. He's just had a bad run. He could come around. There's still time for him. I'm not impressed. He's kind of going south. He's fallen off, or a complete, he's garbage, and I'm done. So I'll let you guys post that one, recognizing that people are hot. So it may change the mood on the votes. But feel free to have that one. Can we buy out Mullen contract? And that's a fascinating question. I haven't looked at. That's not what you normally see. What you normally end up seeing is you either just don't play him or you end up loaning him out and you continue to pay his contract. I don't think that there is a buyout option in UK contracts. So depressed as hell. I was right last week. Hey, if there's good news, maybe we're going to be right back at it here in 5 days. Is that good news? Yeah, that's a rare moment of indecision by Barnett. He'll be gutted. Yep. It's going to be a long trip home.
By the way, he's
I
been
just don't
playing
get that.
some fabulous defense
Yes.
over there. That was not a great moment. That also wasn't atrocious, by the way. He had two guys there. The ball was kind of in between. He wasn't decisive enough. It still would have been difficult for him to manage it. He probably would have had to do some sort of header in and kick it out wide. He made the wrong call. It wasn't a horrendous one. They were aggressive, and it paid off. I mean,
yeah,
if anyone deserves grace, it's Barney, right?
I'm with you. I am with you on deserving grace, 100%. And yes, he played League One for the Tranmere Rovers in 2019-2020. He had 3 goals over 20 games. And did he play for Huddersfield? No, he didn't actually play any games for them. Other than that, so he's had 4 goals total over 37 games in League One. And so you look at that, he would have been 2019-2020. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years ago. And so he would have been young up and comer at that point in time because he would have been 23-ish. And so, yeah, he was with Swindon. He went to Tranmere in League Two. He helped Tranmere get promoted into League One. He played half of the games that year. Don't know what his minutes were. And then he went out on loan to Cambridge United. Then he signed with Cambridge United, and then he's been with us.
But to be clear, if Mullen never scores another goal, I would presume he still goes down as a Wrexham legend, right?
Well, 100%. 100%.
And it's not that we don't owe a large part of why we're at where we are to him. So I'm not taking anything away from him. I'm just talking about right now and how I feel about him. And that's not a good place.
Well, and Mary, with the question here that everybody's trying to understand, and I'm assuming Mary, female pronouns, is he L1 quality? It's got to be a confidence fitness issue. And that's been the question that we've all asked throughout. And I think where I sit with the assessment is probably about 6 games ago, you started to see the work rate there. You started to see the old Mullen coming back. And I started to shift from this is no longer a fitness issue. This is does he have enough to hang in League One? And sometimes to me, and we've used the word the schneid, you get into a rut and you know, in hockey, you use the term, you grip the stick a little tight and things just don't fall your way. And part of it for me was that. And I thought if he can get one, do the floodgates open? And so I was been holding out for the one. When Lee went down earlier in the game with the injury to his right leg, and it looked like he's okay. But when it all started, I thought, you know, maybe not a bad thing. Mullen's going to get an extended run instead of coming in for garbage time in the last 20, 25 minutes of the game. He might have an opportunity here. He could score and get rolling. The floodgates could open, and this could be a brilliant thing for the second half of the season and add a new striker. And now you've got a Mullen and a new striker combination, and it's really ripping. And instead, just daft play. And selfish daft play, and maybe that's the worst. Is that the worst part of it? Is it the selfishness? Yeah. Is it the mistake? Is it just entirely selfish?
Yes. Yeah, especially for someone who complains all the time about not getting the pass when it's difficult. He complained to Rathbone, who would have had to thread a ridiculously impossible pass to him, where he would lead Mullen around. Rathbone would have had to slice it around a defender to hit Mullen and still get it there before the keeper could come out. Almost impossible at that speed to put that perfect of a pass. So Rathbone keeps it, and Mullen's pointing and giving him a hard time. And Mullen never shies away from complaining when he doesn't get the ball, even when it's not a perfect scenario. And then he has a perfect scenario next to him, and he takes the tough shot and blows it. And we needed that goal.
I do want my strikers to want the service, to be hungry for it, to demand it. Do you know what I mean? Like, so I'm okay with that.
If you're going to do that, you can't not hand it to somebody wide open 10 feet away on an easy pass.
It's just the recognition of it is exactly it. And it's weird because you see it so much from Mullen when he's nowhere near goal, right? Like he'll put the work rate in. The assist on the goal that came recently, the long cross from the wing that was headed in a couple of games ago. That was, he does the work rate, he puts it in, he gets the ball, and he knows the only way we're scoring is if I serve this up, so he serves it. But when it gets around goal, yes, I want my strikers to take the chances when it's available, but you have to recognize the opportunities that are available to you. I can't come up with a justifiable excuse. That's a good question.
I think Fletcher had a yellow. Remember, Fletcher hit the guy in the air. So if Matt Al's right,
so then he's gone for the next game. If that's the case,
if Fletcher was given one, unless Matt Al saw a yellow and presumed Fletcher got it in that point and not earlier, I don't know. So if he got 2, he's definitely out next game.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can determine that from the yellow cards at the full-time whistle, and they don't have it up. They've got full-time, and then there's nothing that happened afterwards. And so the yellow cards that I have, this is up to date. I have Luke Thomas at the 45th minute, Ollie Palmer at 45th minute plus 4 minutes. I have EOC at the 48th, Jamie Lindsay for them at the 57th minute, and then that's it. All I've got for yellow cards.
No, Fletcher got one. Didn't he? Was it a yellow that he got when he hit the guy in the back, or did he just get the penalty?
No, I'm with you with that one.
Huh. Maybe he did get just a free kick. I thought he got a yellow there. There's
some insight from Al. Hey, so as far as changes go, and what do we anticipate for Boxing Day? Matt Al with I think the obvious one, 3-5, and this is a good shout from Al. 3-5-1-1 work for one game. It's not the Wrexham way. So 3-5-2 possible, and Matt Al was also saying about Mo Fall. So let me just address that one. For me, I don't know if I've seen enough from Mo to be able to make a decision. Other than he's right that that's our record signing, 500,000. But there's a lot of rawness there, and I don't know if you can do. To me, he should be taking in as much garbage time in games as he can. The problem is we're not putting people away. In a perfect world, the last couple of games we're up to get 2 goals. We're rolling through, and you can put Mo Fall in the last 10, 15, 20 minutes and get his legs out to get him to show things. And Woody's saying Fletcher didn't get a yellow earlier, just at the end. And I don't see it up on FOTMob, so that's good. When I go through McLean, I have him listed as having 1. And so, but they don't list the yellows at the end. So when did McLean get his? Yeah, so, I think it was just the one at the end.
So let me ask you this: when it comes to Fall,
yep,
I think I've seen him in games where I don't like the fact that he isn't more active. Right? He's sometimes not moving around or apparently running hard enough for me sometimes. But I also wonder if, because he has such a big gait, that his legs don't appear to be working hard, but he's still moving around.
Covering territory.
Is he actually moving, and have far more action than I would potentially be giving him credit for? I keep thinking that that's the case. And he seemed to be more active in the last game that I saw him out there. It's hard to see sometimes the way they keep the camera angles, and our forwards, Mullen and Fall, sometimes get so outside the camera because they're on the very edge trying to push, staying on sides. I just wonder if he is now given the full effort or not. And are we kind of misjudging him, thinking he's not working hard out there? So,
yeah. Personnel changes. That's the hard part for me is everything outside of the front 2. I think largely looked good. I mean, Barney, he made a mistake, but he's been a rock star all season long. You're not even entertaining a changeover on the right wing. McLean, yeah, he banged it off the woodwork. But I don't think you're looking at Seb as a sub in there. The midfield, we've rotated through anyways. Do I see Dobson getting more time rather than Cannon? Maybe that's the only change in the midfield. But I can't point fault at the midfield back, right? Can I see Scar getting in or Tom O'Connor sliding over as a we're going to have to manage things too, because we've got 4 games in quick succession here. So I could see some changes because of that reason, but I don't think as far as fault. Up front though, Palmer had himself a good first half. Would you agree with that? But a horrible second.
Yeah. And
So
I blame Parkey for waiting too long to make that sub. I mean, you got to pull that trigger when Palmer's not moving. He's done. He's worthless. Like he's a negative at that point. You got to get him out of there. So
yeah, and Dave, sort of addressing your point with respect to Mo Fall, is he had that one great looking goal, but other than that, he's seen nothing from him. As Brendan was saying, that's my sort of take on Mo Fall, is his work rate doesn't appear to be that big, but he still covers a lot of territory. So is it just the nature of his style of play? And at the same time, he had that great looking goal. That's all I've asked of a striker, is when it's around the area, find a way to score. By hook or by crook, put it in the back of the net. They don't ask you how, they just ask you how many. And I like his height for the set pieces. He's an additional weapon there. I think before you can put him in though for 90, you've got to give him more minutes, and he just hasn't had any here. And so sent the card report via DM. So let me have a look at that while I pull it up. Thanks, Weird Al, for that. Don't switch. Let's have a look.
yeah, well, Deandra and I don't have any women's games for a couple of weeks, so it's only the men's games, but we have quite a few, like you were saying, Sean. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah, so the 26th to 29th, the first, plan to be there for all of them. I would have loved to have done the Brum game on the 23rd, but unfortunately I've got this one lingering file that's going to take up a bunch of time for me. And so we'll see how that all transpires. Plus, it's Christmas, and having 2 young lads who are starting to get a handle of things, I wish I could. We took for Dad's birthday is, especially around Christmas, it's not about Dad anymore. It's about the boys celebrating their dad, and that was a lot of fun to see how excited they were. But we took them to Santa on my birthday, and seeing the abject, total, and complete fear of my youngest child with Santa Claus, like to the point, like that fight or flight mentality triggered, and he didn't know what he wanted. It was just sheer panic. He wasn't screaming or crying, but it was just like, where am I going? What am I doing? Do I want my mom? Do I want my dad? Do I want to just sit on the floor right here? It's the most fascinating video because this just fear.
Easter Bunny was always scarier.
Yeah, it's funny. I took him to Home Depot, and the animatronic Santa Claus has triggered him. And so from that point on, every hallway or every aisle that we went through to clear the extra space, he was sneaking in and having a look to make sure he wasn't going to get jump scared by Santa or something. And so he's got a real fear. And so fascinating stuff. And then the eldest, he's at the point where the Eastern European Krampus, I don't know if you've ever heard of the Krampus thing, where they've got the scary come out and grab the naughty kids before Santa comes out. And so that we've been blackmailing, like just sheer. I love Santa because and the spirit about it, because it's straight lies and whispering to lies to your children and blackmail. If you don't be good, it's a fascinating process. One thing that I haven't done that I should do, just to make sure that for everybody that's here, Ultimate Promotions, ultipromo.com, ultimatepromotions.biz. I would really, 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 really like if there's any sniff of people who are needing pins or needing the thing, throw a little bit of magic that way. They've been paid full market rates based on YouTube expected revenues to make sure that this went ad-free. And so I'm massively appreciative of them. And so I'm hoping it gets, even though it's my sister's company, obviously, but some reward. So if it is something that you're looking for, at least reach out and see what they can do for you, whether that be the enamel pins, the pressed pins, or a badge. That'd be awesome. Asking Santa for a new striker in January. That's the truth. That's the gospel. That's what we're all looking for. Summarizing this one. Yeah, Fletcher Card confirmed at 90, and I've got that. Thanks, Matt. And that's the only one that I've got. So no, I don't see suspensions there. I've got 5 children. I need to get away from to the football. No doubt. Freedom. And so, yeah, it's going to be, we've got Christmas stuff to plan to distract us from this painful one. Everybody's going to Sunday morning quarterback the hell out of this one. But the good news is we're back at it on Boxing Day, and then shortly thereafter on the 29th and away 29th. Yes. And then we're back at it on the 1st. So it's going to come hot and heavy here. And the season turns over and we start to look at, I mean, we've gone through what's to come. A little bit heavy at the start. February is not that bad, heavy through March, and then kind of a clear path. But we say that knowing, even though we've had a clear path through December, the results haven't turned our way. Sum this one up. Frustrating disappointment, and the script holds true that if you don't grab insurance and take advantage of the opportunities, and you allow the corpse to stay warm, it can come back and Frankenstein the hell out of you. And I guess that's what happened.
Thanks, Dave.
Dave, I appreciate that. Thank you for the continued support of the Red Horde. For everybody who's here, like, if you haven't already, before you leave, we'll see you on the 26th. Brendan, do you have any parting shots you want to get out there?
No, everyone have a great holidays, and hopefully Christmas will bring us some more luck and we get back on the winning track.
Yeah, I'm just going to end the poll there, and we'll wrap up our thoughts with I misclicked with the vote, because I'm curious about that one before we see that one so we can speak to it. So not impressed that he's going south, leading the way, so a little bit negative. Still great, 17%. So that's the interesting. To the top end is still amazing, and the bottom end he's garbage. Completely split at 17. So there's more leaning negative than positive, because you've got 28%, 17 saying the needles towards the top end, and you've got 35%, 17% leaning towards the other end. Santiago, happy holidays to you as well. Frustrated, just being selfish, and I think that's the sum on that one. Can I pen? And it won't be traded. The worst thing that would happen to him would be that he stays with the club and he doesn't get added to the 22-man roster, and he ends up just playing for the B squad on occasional pickup games. I don't see that being a reality. Is there an outside chance that he could go out on loan somewhere? Well, we'd have to add 2 new strikers and believe that Marriott's on the run and return soon. Even with the 2 strikers, because I think, who do you end up if you add 2, who's off the list? And because, are you leaving a spot open for Marriott? I think you probably would be. And so you've got to lose 2 strikers up front. Is it Mo Fall and Mullen?
Well, he doesn't even take up a spot, does he?
No, he doesn't. So who would be?
Well, Bud Varson's gone. If
there you go. Okay. So you could squeeze that one through. But you could see in that circumstance Mullen potentially being loaned out back down to League Two, or probably wouldn't go to the National League. There'd be a team in League Two that'd be love to have him.
Yeah, I'm wondering though.
Here's a question: Mullen being selfish, who does he give it to? The reason why we're so upset is because of that obvious play with Barney on the left-hand side. I mean, Mullen, there have been shots that have been taken where there were, the pass wasn't the clearest opportunity, and he took it, and you're like, was that the best choice? I don't know, but you're the striker, you're paid to score, and you have a history of scoring, so we'll forgive it. But today, that wasn't the situation. You had the best chance that we had to score, and that's even with McLean hitting the bar, a couple that went over top. The best opportunity we had to get our second goal was
Swirly, just watch
wide
that
open.
back. Yeah, just
watch
watch
that one
that back. And then tell us during the next game. I'd be curious if you really give that a shot after knowing that he complained to Rathbone, who would have had to make an impossible pass to him earlier. He complains every game when he doesn't get service. And he always puts his hands out and he makes a big show of it that he should have got the pass. He's been missing sitters. I mean, absolute sitters he's missing. And then Barney, one of our hottest guys, maybe our best player throughout the whole season. And look at how open Barney is. Look at how easy that pass would be to make. And then, I mean, if you don't see with that, then you don't agree with us. But I don't know.
I'm in the not impressed going south. I'm not going to say he's garbage, and that's clearly not the case. There's much love and much respect because let's be honest, Paul Mullen was, if not the reason, a heavy, and I don't think I can go as far as saying the reason, but he was a massive contributor in the team coming from National League to League Two up to League One. The reality is starting to settle in with me that he just may not have it for League One. And the frustrating part about that is when he can still contribute to the team in other ways and he misses his opportunity. And so that's where I sit. That's my summary for whatever that's worth. It's like the shooters are now, every man for himself. Santiago, thankful for you. Moles was good by himself. He was great when Palmer came in. It takes teamwork, only clear the ones not working together. We'll see. I mean, the window's coming forward and we can name a food stand after him. And that's probably the best summary by Santiago. We owe Mullen a lot. He deserves a chance, but he needs to remember that there's no I in team.
Yeah, was it great when he was paired with Palmer, because Palmer would catch the ball, give it off to Mullen, and was never quick enough to then be able to be back in the play to be an option. So it was just get the ball to Mullen, and, feed the beast, and then he could be selfish as he wanted. He didn't have to look elsewhere, and he was successful. So then no one was going to question that. Now he's not scoring, and truthfully, he probably needs to share it, to get goals. And he's just, that's not really his mindset anymore, right?
Yeah.
He's still it's just me.
I'm on boy duty so that the wife can go out and do some Christmas requirements. And then that's going to be the early start of the day, and then a little tiny bit of renovation stuff. And I believe, I don't know if I'm doing it now. This room is clear. And I've got the new glow going, but I want to add some stuff behind, and I don't know what I'm going to do with this flag because I'd like to modify the studio, and I actually like this glow of these lights that I've got, that I'm hoping to add some stuff and make it a thing. And whether that starts today or it starts next month, I don't know when that'll be. But I'm excited to do that and hopefully get back into some videos, but it's largely going to depend on what happens with I'm going to be, at the moment, exceptionally busy. And I'll add this. Here's the exciting news on my front is now that we've moved in and we're looking at the bank account stuff and what's coming in and all that sort of situation, is my wife said it's time to plan a trip to the UK.
Mm-hmm.
And so we don't know when, but it's potentially looking end of February, March-ish, that run might happen. So I'm excited about that as an opportunity on a go forward. How much time do I have to spend with the in-laws, and can I pick a fight so that they don't want to see me? I can just stay in Wrexham for an extended period. That's not good in-law mentality. All right, I've got to go and do some stuff. Brendan, much love and appreciation for all of the stuff that you do behind the scenes and the exclamation marks and the putting things together and the GIFs and the production and being the glue to the season and all that sort of stuff. It's certainly appreciated on my end, and I'm sure it is from everybody else that's in on this one. To everybody that's still here, thank you, and we'll see you Boxing Day. Enjoy the holidays and the time that you have with your loved ones. That's what it's all about, and so embrace that. And I hope you have a good one. And if you can't be with your loved ones, we'll see you Boxing Day, and you can share some time with us. We'll be there. So enjoy it. Take care of yourselves. Be safe. And we'll see you Boxing Day. Take care. Bye-bye.